Okay, well, so last time, after defeating the dragon Adamek, you decided to collect your spoils in the cave above. After you began heading toward the cave, kobolds presented themselves, and Pel tried to comfort a child. His kindness was rewarded with an explosion that slammed his armor into his chest and slammed his back onto the ground. Immediately after the explosion, Munson unleashed an augmented fireball on the rest of the kobold group before them, accidentally igniting a secondary hidden suicide bomber that chained a domino effect through the kobold tunnels locally, setting off caches of explosives. This effectively collapsed the local series of tunnels and ended any potential threat therein. Entering the boiling hot lair of the dragon, there seemed to be no danger other than the heat. You found a man, however, who was chained up at the back of the cave atop the treasure of what was left of what once was Durgma's, now Adamek's, hoard. You revived the Empire commoner named Zachary Jebb with little question, gave him a sizable portion of monetary loot, and sent him on his way back to who knows where. Flint unintentionally caused a rip in the fabric of space-time, as one does, sending himself, Pel, and Vorik flying into astral space. There they witnessed two ships breaking out into battle in the distance, seeing one explode. All three of you prayed to Saloon with Pel, hoping the prayer chain would succeed in bringing you back home. It did. Under Pel's guidance, he was able to reach out to his god, where she plane shifted a lot of you back into the material plane. In the cave, your companion saw the three of you disappear, and with the arcanic knowledge of Munson, he placed a fair gamble on what he thought might have happened. He, Ugbor, and Jeremiel waited 3 days around the cave for you three to return. They took a side trip into the stacks and to do some research in the meantime, and after the two halves of the group are reunited, Ugbor completed the ritual set upon him by his warrior god, thereby accepting the position as a chosen of Grimsh. And the first task given to this new station of his is killing the fallen chosen, Wallen. We ended our session with Ugbor dropping his removed eye into the blood of the dragon, where it was consumed in fire, and a gift of divine rage was bestowed. Now, Ugbor, as Pel heals you, you feel the ritualistic tool you just used dissolve from your hand, turning to ash and blowing away in the wind. Words have been exchanged in passing, establishing that the three of you were gone for only minutes, not years. And now and how the Empire captain was dealt with, amongst other things. Vorik, as you stow away the items you hastily collected from the void of space, and I turn on the music and visuals and all that, you mentioned how out of reflex your first thought when opening anything new is going to be dagger. The scrap of tinkering metal you had grabbed, at least in one of your hands, changes from the metal pipe it was before into a dagger in your hands. Silvered and shimmering like liquid, the fluidity stops and solidifies into a Damascus-like pattern with almost like a dual layered edge, as though two edge blades were staggered on top of one another, ever so slightly. After a moment, the metal shimmers again, reforming itself almost in transit from one thing to another, like your request verbally was heard, but now the item shimmers again and changes back into liquid, reforming, elongating itself into a bow. We've been having the same Damascus pattern along the entirety of the bow's silvery length.
What color is it? Like the
It
is
is,
it
imagine like silver surfer type metal, but
Oh,
like
salt.
mercury kind of?
Yeah, like mercury, but like a Damascus mercury.
like a
Now,
Damascus pattern.
Yes, and it's almost like uh, you feel something satisfactory from this change, like some sort of sentient force is suggesting this might be better for you. That I prefer this.
What? Can I tell anything about it? Like, does it feel different, or like gut feeling, or like does
Um,
it feel the same as my psychic daggers?
it feels similar to your psychic daggers, but somewhere. I'll tell you what. Roll me an Arcana check.
go for it. You remember what you said in Asheville Sea right before we got whisked away when you were praying? So I remember.
Give me a sign.
Nope. You said, "Hey, Sloon, if this works, I'll stop worshiping the Lar or whatever."
Oh yeah, I did. Which I mean, I don't. Did I ever worship? I don't know. That's weird. Weird lines.
Oh,
Can I use my inspiration from last game?
I don't.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I mean, I
I don't
didn't
think
use it. Can I use it?
Oh yeah, yeah, totally.
So what did I do?
just
Oh
re-roll it.
yeah, just reroll it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Hell yeah.
I didn't see you rolled there. Okay, makes sense.
That's better.
There you
There
go,
you go.
17. By the way, sorry that I didn't see your message before I called you. It was a thing there, so my bad on that.
Oh, I didn't. I just sent that message when I hopped on here.
Okay, cool. Um, then I was looking at something different then. Anyway, um, so yeah, with a 17, you know that this definitely is magic, if that wasn't obvious enough by its shape shifting abilities. But it feels like it has something extra to it, as most magical things do. You can't tell exactly what from that check, but it's not the same feeling as your psychic blades that do psychic damage. It's something different, but you can't put your finger on it.
Man, I bet as soon as Munson stops T-posing back there, he'd be able to tell you.
Exactly. Is Pale around?
Yeah.
Yeah, feels
Hey.
right there.
I want to ask you. I'm gonna be like, is it so? If I are we are back, right? I'm not. We're not just floating in the void still.
No, you are
No.
currently all around the corpse of Adamek, and Ugbor is standing atop the dragon, just finished with his ritual.
Okay.
And also, Pell has approached him to do the Healy heals, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so his eye's not like bleeding or anything.
So I will walk up to them then, since they're both there. And am I just carrying like a puddle of mercury in my hand at the moment, or
No,
like,
no, it is a solid silver bow.
oh, but I want to walk up to him, and I'm just gonna be like, I grabbed this while we were in whatever that was, and
That wasn't out there. There was scrap out there.
well,
What the
that
hell's that?
that turned into it was a dagger a second ago, and now it's this. I don't know.
What do you mean it was a dagger a second ago?
I mean, like 2 seconds ago, it turned into a dagger.
Did you
Like,
make it do this?
I mean,
Or did this do it on its own?
I have no idea.
It's hard to put words to it, but when you talk about the weapon being a dagger, you get a feeling, sort of just pinging, echoing, like flicking a piece of metal, like just ping, from the weapon, of disliking the aspect of being a dagger.
Oh, um, yeah, it was a dagger. I guess it's meant to be a. I don't know. It was scrap. I wonder if it could be a sword.
Another
You
interesting
know.
point of note, just for description, the bow is stringed, but the string, it's not glowing. It's not metal, but it seems to be made of a muted light material, if that makes any sense. It's not horsehair or anything equivalent that bowstring is typically made of, but it's not made of metal of the same bow. It looks like the bow has generated some sort of force that is acting as the string.
You know who should look at this, Vorik?
Munson.
Flint.
Yeah. our
He's
good buddy
really
Flint.
good. He is really good with gadgets,
Right,
and
I'm not T-posing either. That's a big plus.
I want so if it's still on a bow. So we're just standing at the dragon currently, right?
yeah, pretty much.
So just I'm gonna look to the side somewhere because I don't have arrows, and just like think of it like looking down the sights of a gun.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just gonna pull the string back, just like I'm checking it out.
As you just aim haphazardly down the way of an empty desert, you pull the string back. As you pull the string back, the same matter that makes up that comprises the bowstring solidifies in midair. As you draw the bow, it knocks an arrow for you.
Oh.
What?
So if I let it
Great.
slowly, like let it back down slowly.
The arrow just disappears the same way that it came into congruence. Or
So
came
you're
to,
literally
into
gonna
being.
see, you're gonna see like anime cartoon moment where I'm just sitting here drawing back, letting it back down, drawing back, letting it back down, drawing it back, letting it back down. Just what the fuck?
Now that is an interesting trick.
Question.
Flint, you didn't have
Ugboard.
that in your bag, did you?
Yeah.
Grab the arrow, and I'm gonna pull it back.
Ugbor grabs the arrow.
Okay, the arrow feels as solid as any material arrow that you've had come in contact with in the past.
Can he remove it?
Okay.
That was so fast.
Um,
Instantly.
the arrow-
Instantly, he goes for how can I break this?
the arrow, it doesn't have any temperature to it. It doesn't feel any different than the surrounding environment. It just feels solid. But as you go to remove it, the second that you pull it off, it's like your strength is stopped as you can test with Vorik's strength of pulling the bow back. Like to disengage the arrow is to pull the bowstring back into place, into neutrality.
Oh.
Okay.
So you feel resistance if you wanted to try and contest that.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
Vorik, it looks like we're playing tug of war here.
I want to shoot it at some. So you said the dragon's just laying here dead?
Yeah.
I want to shoot it just at the body. Because, I mean, what better way to gauge it, you know?
Okay. So you're going to shoot the body. Any specific place?
No, I'm just like in the side or some big side. I'm not even aiming. I'm literally just like from the waist, just pulling it back and letting it go.
Okay. As you pull the bow back and release the arrow flies through the air with just the ever so slight gray glow that is reflective of the same color as your bow. And as it strikes the beast, you see the corpse shake with the impact. As the arrow leaves a physical mark, you have cut the flesh of the beast. But after the impact, it just kind of pops in gray energy, and the arrow is gone.
So, like, the body shook when it hit it?
Yeah, there's a physical impact, and the flesh is cut.
Oh, okay.
Held over to Flint. You didn't have that in your bag, did you?
No.
Damn right, no. Okay.
Well, you guys grabbed it from the astral space that was Flint's stuff floating around you after you guys went to the astral sea.
Hey, he said no.
Hell's gonna pull out the
Not that
harmonica.
not that he knew of, but it was amongst the items that were in his bag after his bag got shredded.
Ah, it might have been.
Well, I don't believe so. You already said no.
Well, it could have been Gherkin.
Oh, okay.
Or something.
I didn't take it away from him. For the continuity.
This is the first thing that popped in my head, by the way. On Discord.
Fucking Henry Cavill's such a pretty dude.
Dude, listen. I can't believe you heard the MCU picked him up, right?
Oh, really?
Was it
They're,
MCU?
they're supposed to.
Henry
Dude,
Cavill.
Yeah, I heard they were going to redo all of the other like Superman and stuff for Ben Affleck's not going to be Batman. I was like, motherfucker, if you recast Superman, it's on. Like fucking Donkey Kong.
I heard that they're going to cast him as some sort of role in a later episode of House of the Dragon.
Yeah, he is.
He has to be
'Cause
Aegon, right? Like he has to be
'cause
Aegon
the-
the Conqueror.
Because of The Witcher is why he's going
Oh,
to be in it.
dude, there's no other choice. He has to be Aegon.
So,
What now?
Do y'all know how big of a nerd he is?
Yeah. He likes
Like-
40K and shit.
He,
Well,
listen,
Did you know? Oh, tell me you're about to tell the story. I think you're about to tell.
yes, he almost didn't get Superman
Yes!
because he was raiding on WoW and didn't answer the phone. And then his
Refused.
his manager called him and was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
And then he
Right.
said, "Raid comes first." He finished the raid.
birds before
Yeah.
hose. Right.
Nice.
Yeah, he was in the middle of a raid on WoW and was like, "Ah, fuck the phone," and like, dude, like he's a giant nerd with that stuff. That's like The Witcher. You know, he was a Witcher fan, and then when he got cast at The Witcher, he said the first thing he did before they even did anything, first thing he did was get all the books and go buy all the games, and literally sat down and beat them all the way through in order.
Wow.
I would
Yeah.
die for him.
Like he's fucking.
Look, all I'm saying is,
I mean-
I'm not gay, but for him,
To be fair, too, he's the only Superman that's ever been cast as Superman that's not had to wear a muscle suit. Like the suit in Superman, that is him.
yeah.
Like that's all him. They were like, "Oh, we don't have to do anything to this guy. Throw him in some tight clothes. We're fine."
Anyway.
Also, we're gonna do terrible CG to cover up his mustache.
It was man. Like, listen, if he has as much testosterone
What?
as he looks like he has, he could have grew up mustache back in 2 weeks.
In the Superman movie, the whole time he had a mustache, so they CG'd out his mustache.
It was the Justice
Why?
League movie because he was under contract for the Mission Impossible, and he couldn't shave it because that was part of the character, I guess.
Gotcha.
And so they CGI'd. They had to spend, it was like a 1 point so many million of dollars to go in and CGI out this man's fucking mustache. All of the Justice League movie. That's why he looks like he's like fucking the whole
Yeah,
time.
he looks like filter. He's got a filter that's making him smile or frown,
yeah,
like a Snapchat filter.
yeah. His top lip does not move.
So, one more tiny piece of, like, useless information. You guys know how Superman shaves?
With his,
He
his laser
uses
beams.
his eye laser.
Yeah. He looks in a mirror and just shoots lasers through his eyes at it.
Oh, I was gonna.
Because razors won't affect his hair because he's fucking Kryptonian.
I was gonna say with the kryptonite razor.
No, he'd just die.
I mean, if he nicks himself, probably. But
Bruh. I
So-
fucking, anytime I shave, I look like I tried to slit my throat.
it's a fucking crypto quattro.
So, well, speaking of kryptonite, you shot the bow at the dragon. What are you doing
Right.
now?
Examining said area.
The arrow on the, or rather the arrowhead on the arrow that you shot was actually 4-pronged. So there is a cross section that has been cut into the flesh of the dragon. The blood's not really spilling because most of the blood's been spilled. It's mostly meat and corpse now. But that flesh wound is about 2 inches by 2 inches, going in about, half a foot or so.
Julio. Well,
I'm just
I don't
gonna
know.
take that was a gift from Saloon.
That's what I was. This reason I was gonna. I was gonna kind of ask you that, like, you know.
That
I'm,
was a bunch of scrap before she whisked us away.
Flint,
can I try?
make me a history check, Flint.
Yes.
Guidance.
With guidance.
High fives.
What happened to that dice? Oh my gosh.
Bruh, I don't know. This is fucking breakdance.
He saw that, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I need to turn it back on. I turned that off the other night when my Discord was having a fucking heart attack.
Well, you'll see in the recording that was ridiculous.
Yeah, it like bounced around.
Flint, as
Dang,
you
what
roll
3D
in,
dice.
Yes.
Keep rolling, 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 rolling.
wow, nice start
Awesome.
to the game, buddy. Total of 23. You, in your excitement of there's a lot that happened in the last few minutes for you. But in your excitement of seeing the tinkering scrap, that was the first thing you went to in the Dragon Sword, was seeing the shiny pile of metal and just shoveling it into this bag. And you remember several of the pieces that went in there, including some bits and bobs like springs, triggers, pipes, and other things that you planned in your mind to use in construction of your arcane cannon in combination with the Phoenix Core. And one of these was a smallish pipe that you had thought about maybe cutting up and using for other componentry or for reinforcement in some areas. This pipe was one of the pieces that Vorik grabbed out of astral space that turned into this item.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out that harmonica.
And as one does, you have a harmonica.
Tooted.
I guess this is kind of the same idea too, but it's not as cool looking.
Yeah, kind of.
Henry Cavill's looks cooler. So is the harmonica like Damascus looking?
No, harmonica seems to be normal. Looks like a standard harmonica.
Pale.
Start playing blues on it. Hold on 1 second. I wish I had this when we were in jail.
Mhm.
Alright, what's up?
We are going back to Rowanwood.
So I want to hold this bow and think of. I want to look at Ugbor's sword, and try to like focus it and see if it works that way. So it turned into a dagger a minute ago because I was like dagger, 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 dagger. I want
Okay.
to see if it's capable of doing.
So you're going to shift it into a great sword, is what you're trying to do with your mind.
I'm think of it as like I'm testing to see if that's why it did that, or if it was just like if it was just a dagger to like appease
Okay.
what I use.
So
Prefer.
looking at Ugbor's sword, you like with unblinking look there, but think over here, and you're thinking about the sword and trying to manifest something in your will. And as you do, you feel the bow melt in your hands, and the liquid start to reshape into something, but then almost like rubber band and reverse itself and snap back into the bow, and it's a bow again, once again in your hands.
Everyone saw that happened, right?
It
Ye-
just wants to be a bow.
Yeah, it wasn't subtle. It wasn't. Everyone basically saw that happen if they were looking at you.
So it wants to be a bow. So I'm assuming originally it was meant to be. Or hold on, time out.
And with the re-snapping back into shape of a bow, you get another ping of no.
Question, pale.
Yeah.
Hold it. I want to reach him the bow.
Okay. Pill, you reach out and you grab the bow. And as you grab the bow and pull it back, from the time you grab it to the time you pull it back to your side, the metal has reliquefied, and you feel the weight redistribute, and it gets heavier. And you look down at your hand, and the metal has reformed into the shape of a morning star.
Okay, so part of what I thought. Igbor's turn.
Here you go.
What am I doing?
Hold this.
Hold this.
Ugbor grabs it and he misses.
Intentionally?
Get back here. Go
No,
ahead.
no, he
Is
can't
that
quite reach
perception?
it. His perception's off. He's got one eye.
Oh,
So,
yes.
Okay.
So he reaches again and he moves around and he finds it and then he
I got
pulls it.
And grab
Or
your
holds
hand. Here you go.
Okay. Boris, you grab it, and pellets go. The item reshapes in your hands. It begins to shimmer, liquefy, then elongate into a very long glaive that is a long poleaxe sort of item.
Whoa!
Now let me see it again.
I hand him the glaive.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Hold it like you should a glaive.
As you take it, the liquid melts out of one of your hands, forming in your dominant bow hand. If you're right-handed, it would be your left hand, and it reforms in the shape of a bow.
So, yes, Flint, come here.
Yes.
I'm gonna give it to Flint.
Flint, you take it?
Yes.
Okay. Flint, as you grab the item, the same effect happens. You see your friends passing this back and forth and watching it shapeshift into different weapons. So it's what you're expecting. You grab it, and as you hold it you bring it back to yourself, it melts and reshapes into this handheld item with about a foot long handle on it. The metal goes up and then curves into a sickle.
Nice.
Hmm.
I've already got a pretty good weapon now.
Let me say it again.
See? You take it, it reforms back into a bow.
Hale?
Yeah.
Come here. Come here.
Sorry,
I want to hold the bow and let Pale pull the string back.
not very good at this.
This is how we spend our night.
Listen, I'm trying to. This is the art of science. We have to figure out everything it can do.
Bell comes up behind you, he like gets real close to you, starts pulling on the string, and he whispers, "Porcelain." And
Okay. As you reach from behind Warwick and try and pull the string,
Now, reaching behind, are you reaching like Patrick Swayze or something, or?
yeah, he's reaching around. As you give Vork a reach around and grab the bow, you try to grab the string, but the string melts through your fingers, and Vork, you get a strong sense of the bow being annoyed at what's
Okay.
going on.
Damn. Part of Vorik really hoped that if Pale pulled that back, we would be shooting morning stars and not arrows.
stuck on this mother knot.
Just bam. uh, I want to try to put it around. You know, like how you do a bow, like the bow on my back, the string across my chest, and see what it does.
Okay. You try to put it across your back so the string is across your chest, and it doesn't change. It's still in your possession, and it stays a bow.
Okay. All right. Cool. I want to do one last thing. We're done. I'm done. I'm done experimenting with the bow. Instead of taking it off the entire way, can I pull at the string on my chest? Will it pull the string out, or will it pull the bow like liquefy and re-solidify?
You can try.
Okay, I want to pull it that way to see if it'll come off rather than having to take it off.
So you're trying to pull the bow and do what now? Or try to pull the string and do what now?
So instead of like, I have to put like an arm through it and all the good,
Yeah.
like that's kind of annoying. Like think of it like if we were being attacked quickly, that's going to take a little bit. I want to try to just pull. I guess the string is what's across my chest.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pull it like away from me.
Hoping
To
that
see-
the bow will dissolve around you and come in front.
Yes.
Okay. So, as you reach for the string and pull it, as you pull it back, an arrow manifests in your chest, and you're going to take 4 damage.
Ah.
Okay. I'm just gonna be okay. That didn't work. All right. We're done. Oh my! Is the moon out? Is it nighttime or daytime?
No, it's daytime.
It's like morning time.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna look to the sky, even though the moon's not there, and be like, okay. I'm done. I'm sorry.
Hey, thank
Just,
you.
just thank you. I imagine Saloon's just sitting there like, God damn it, accept a gift. Like, fuck.
You were looking this gift horse in the mouth.
Like, Jesus.
You were giving the gift horse to everybody.
Saloon's sitting up there. Saloon is looking at Malar, being like, you know what? Fuck it. You can have him.
Just take him.
Just take him. He's yours.
I like the simple one.
Simple Jeff.
So, what did you guys find after our excursion?
I found the Phoenix Core.
I know that I mostly meant Munson and Oakmore.
Oakmore, do you remember what was in the cave?
Sorry, I
Let's
dropped my
see.
headphones, so I wasn't sure.
No problem.
Dustin, I sent you a PM, but pretty well what I said was what I add that in my inventory as.
Hmm.
And just to give you a heads up, you might as well give us all what it's going to turn into for all of us, because this may be a thing that we pass around.
Take this.
For now, being unidentified, just label it as the silver bow.
Okay.
And later I'll elaborate on that and pass the notes around.
Could call it Moonbow.
True.
But it has the same stats as a longbow for now, as far as you know. It's did damage to you?
Oh, if it's magic, would it be like a +1 longbow?
You don't know.
We shall find out, right?
So in my notes, I actually don't have. I just have that he organized the loot. But from what I do recall, there was a little bit of money, but not really a lot. At least not what would be considered a lot to us. And we also don't know exactly if any of it is booby trapped or not. I seem to recall that there were some trade goods. It seemed like people were just offering stuff as worship, or to keep the dragon from attacking, from pillaging.
So nothing. No really cool magic things.
There were some things. Wait until you see Munson.
Okay.
There were a couple really, really interesting things.
Shall we go back and finish up what we tried to start? I guess 3 days ago.
Yes. And plus, I want to kill something and try this out.
Fair enough.
And now we'll never fight again.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm done. I'm done playing with the bow at the moment, so we're good. We're good. So we'll get to that point. I was gonna be like, is this something I should attune to or attempt to attune to?
Don't
Are we
know.
leaving? Packing anything up? How long does it take to attune to stuff typically?
1 hour of studying it while physically touching it.
Mm, do we have an hour to waste?
We're about to go look at some dragon loot, so I reckon we will.
Okay, yes, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna sit down with it, kind of crisscross Indian style, and lay it across my lap. Since obviously it stays that way on my back, it stays that way on my lap.
Okay. Well, here
And-
is a point of interest. How are you guys getting back to the Dragon's Den? Are you having Munson cast fly on you again, or are you taking trips one at a time with Pell and Flint's Griffins? Or what are you doing?
How far away is it?
Hard to do without geometry, but basically it's like, we'll say 100 feet away from you, 100 feet up at this time.
I mean,
About-
So it's radical 200 feet high.
While I'm
Radical 200 feet away from us.
while I'm doing that, by the way, I'm just gonna pray to Saloon while I do it.
Okay.
Just try to mimic some things I've seen and heard Pell say, and thank her. Wow, I don't know. We're gonna wing it. Winging it has worked so far.
Okay. Are you going to say anything in particular?
I mean, I'm just gonna sit down with it and be like, I don't know how this works. I don't know if you can hear me because the moon's not out. So this might be defeating the purpose, but I'm assuming this is something from you, and I want to show my thanks and fulfill my promise of forsaking Malar and turning my allegiance over to you.
You pray this, and it is daytime, so there's no direction other than up, as far as you know. But praying has never been a strong suit for you, anyway.
Ever.
So praying this, you're not sure if you've been heard or felt until you hear a small voice in the back of your mind smiling as it whispers, "Not me, dear."
Oh. Then who?
No response.
I'm confused. Malar? Doesn't seem like something he would do. Work is lost.
Given time.
Yeah, I mean, like, he gave me something, but it ain't that. It's not like this.
Hail Saloon, full of grace. Thanks for saving us from space.
Yes.
You can have it.
Am I done? If I'm done and attuned to this thing, I just want to be like, Pale, I'll do it while sitting here. So I'll be like, Pale, she said it's not from her.
Thank her anyway. She got us out of space.
I thanked her for that and promised to still forsake Malar, but You think it's just luck?
I guess.
I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. Thank you anyway.
Yeah, luck usually seems to break our way.
I want to try the spectacles, testicles, walnut watch thing, and fuck it up entirely. Like, utterly.
How
Like,
the fuck?
As
like
By
I
the
ended up.
time he's done, he's joined a gang.
I ended up in like a queue. Some I don't. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
Yes, thank you.
He accidentally does shadow clone jutsu.
He's fucking future Trunk says fucking. Oh god.
I know what you're
Yes.
talking about, yes.
It reminds me.
I want to call it burning attack, but I'm pretty sure
I
it's
think it
called
is
something
burning
else.
attack, yeah.
It reminds me of a thing Josh and I joked about at work, where you go to like salute somebody in the army, but you realize you shouldn't do that, so you go from like a salute that you can't do to almost a Heil Hitler to then the retard, and then you just give up. So something like that.
So, to the Dragon's Den.
Hell, I guess. Because I don't really want to waste a spell slot of Munson's. We can just get Spaghetti and Freckles to ferry him back and forth.
Yes.
Okay. So it takes some time, but you do eventually get everybody back and forth up into the dragon's cave, and you're once again all together in the den of the den of two late dragons, assuming the map loads.
I'm not taking Spaghetti in this time. I'm gonna be like, you've been through enough for a little bit. Just hang out, go find you a deer real quick and go eat it, and come back up here in like an hour.
Okay.
I know you're pretty dumb, Bert, but hopefully you've understood that.
Spaghetti just looks at you and kind of cocks her head a
Wait.
little bit, and then
Wait,
just
I have a furball thing.
Speak with
I
animals.
can communicate with them, but I can't understand them.
So they understand you?
Yeah. So I'm like, go have fun, go eat, be a good bird.
I want to try something too if he's there, just because it worked. With, what was his name? Torin?
Mhm.
I want to, if he's cool, I don't want any like buckbeak issues going on and me being Draco here. Like, if he's cool, I want to go out and just like touch my head to his and see if I can hear or understand anything that he may be wanting to say.
I'm gonna have you roll first an animal handling check.
See him going up and I'll give him guidance. Fuck, he already rolled it.
Yep, that's solid 10. So you go to approach. You go to approach the animal, and as you do, you are a little rushed in your approach, and the animal backs off away from you a little bit.
Okay, well,
He'll like
Yep.
reach into his bag and pull out a piece of meat. Try it with this.
I'm gonna try it with that.
Okay. So you take out the meat and show it to him and approach, but with the current situation being what it was, your role being what it was, he looks at the meat, but is still like keeping the constant distance between you.
Okay. I'll just go like that and be like, okay, I understand. And I'm gonna throw it to him.
He lets the meat hit the ground and just stares at you.
He did get exploded on.
Okay, I give up. I give up. I'm just gonna assume it's just Torin. It's fancy.
Yeah, Spaghetti's a little standoffish. A little bit shy.
And walk away.
To the loot.
Ew.
Okay. So as you guys,
Do you want to pet Freckles? She's a good girl.
It also
Wait.
didn't get exploded on, like poor spaghetti did.
Maybe some other time. I've rode on Freckles. Me and Freckles should be okay.
Right. That's why I wasn't sure if you wanted to, put your head on her head.
True. I'm gonna try it with Freckles, just see if it works.
okay. So roll another animal handling check when
I will
approaching Freckles.
help him
Okay.
Got it.
with it by calming her down, and I will also give a flash of genius and just rattling off oh well, she likes this, she doesn't like this, she does like this,
Awesome.
and I start getting into different spices she likes and doesn't like, and I'm just rattling them off. And where is it? There we have it. There we go.
Awesome. So, with a flash of genius from Flint giving you raw information, Pell giving you a divine blessing as best he can, and with Flint using basically the help action to give you advantage on this roll, go ahead and roll animal handling for me.
With advantage?
With advantage, plus 2, plus what's your modifier, Flint?
4.
4, so plus 6. Roll with advantage, plus 6.
I got like the worst roll ever.
That's amazing. So you got 12. You got 12, and as you approach the beast, you're taking a little bit more time with it than you were with Spaghetti, and you approach, especially with Freckles' owner being right there. He helps guide you into the creature space, and she hesitantly allows you to touch her head with your hand.
Sense anything? Feel anything? Hear anything?
No, you don't. You don't get anything like that. It's a griffin who is tenuously allowing you to touch it.
You're also in a suit made of dead skin.
I was going to say
Yeah.
that. I was going to be like,
You
I'm also
are.
in a flesh suit.
There's a lot of modifiers that are going to be heightened by that.
Okay, so
You're
I
dead
guess-
walking around in a meat suit.
How you doing, Manson?
oh,
Oh, he's muted.
well, okay, that didn't work. All right.
Yep.
So, are we looking for anything specific in here?
I think we're just looking at the things we didn't get to look at.
Okay. Oh yeah, before we got warped to the black place.
Yeah.
Let's go look at the other stuff. Is there any more chests?
No, Munson wrote that, but I don't think there were any more chests. The only chest that was there was the one chest that had the silks in it. There was the coinage, the gold bar, well, let me go back to my notes and I'll find the exact list here just to be sure. Is it here? I think it's there. Nope, not there.
Munson, CPA, assassin, and accountant.
Nope, not that one, definitely. There it is. That has to be it. Okay, let me find my list here. There it is. So there was an orb that was collected by Gerke. There's a potion, a robe of eyes that Munson is wearing currently. There is a scroll. There's an ingot of gold, a harmonica that Pell currently has. There is the small chest of silks that is now gone. There's a silver chalice, a pile of coinage that was given away, a small marble bull figurine, and the tinkering scraps that Flint gathered and then scattered.
Okay.
Oh, and there's also the 2 portraits that are propped up against the back wall of both Elaine and Phelan, and one of apparently some sort of human king.
So everybody got all that stuff?
On that note, Pell, did you say you need to take 5 right now? It's 11 o'clock.
No, not yet. He didn't really message me yet.
Okay.
Ugbor, it was just regular. Like,
Oh, okay.
plate.
Cool.
Just regular plate. Well, not plate, but breastplate.
Then we're gonna collect all this gold and whatnot. If I who's do is it a random ass
So-
king?
So actually, all the gold specifically is not here. There should be some silver and maybe some copper.
Mm-hmm.
But the gold that was here, we sent with the guy that we had tied up on the rock.
So as far as the portrait goes, this one looks kind of old. I'm gonna say ancient, like the one of Elaine. They look aged in that way, but much less so of the pair. This one is it's a single figure human, male dressed in heavy metal armor, posing fiercely in the portrait. There's a crown sitting on his brow, but it seems to fit much less innately than the one on the Elven Queen's head. This is a newly made version, like one that looks maybe almost like a repainting of what maybe was an old piece of art. And at least as far as you can tell, but you're not sure much more than that. I'll say just at a glance, but it has like a feel of like it's old, but it's not as old as this. If that makes sense.
I pick it up and look on the back of it. If there's anything on it.
You pick it up and spin it around. You look on it. It's not labeled like the other one was.
Oh. Well, damn. You guys want to take these?
Yeah, I think Munson wants to put it in my bag. I can throw it in there
Let's do it.
if they'll fit. While we're trying to put them in there, can I take a little glance at them? See if I assume I'd recognize the one like the lady and the wolf, because we seen that in the cave, didn't we?
Yeah, you saw her in person, at least as in person as you can establish.
I want to take a gander at that other dude, because I'm old. I've been around a little bit.
Okay, I'll have you roll a history check for me, please.
I'll be right back.
Guidance.
Indeed.
18.
18 total, right?
Yep.
Okay, with an 18, you don't recognize this figure in any of the books you've read, either in Old or in the Diversium or anywhere else. You've never seen the portrait of this man before. Being human, you don't know of any other kingdoms nearby that are human ran other than the Empire, the Adelcaster Empire. But this doesn't look like any of the Adelcasters that you're familiar with. The Adelcasters are a brown-headed, very clean-shaven, sort of more skinny than muscular rain. They all have been genetically, at least the last 3 that were in recent memory. This one has dark brown hair, has a very well-trimmed beard, I believe. Let me double check my reference on this real quick because I don't know where it is. Where did I send that to you guys at? It's over here or something. There it is. Yeah, he has dark hair that's starting to gray, And same with the beard. It's very well trimmed, but it's starting to gray a little bit. So it doesn't look like any of the Adelcasters. The most you can surmise is that maybe it has to do with the human empire, maybe from before that fell, that you've heard reference of, but only in vague reference, nothing more than that.
I don't know who that is. Could have been like some other human kingdom before the Empire. Because didn't. Hold on. I know Mother Night Whisperer tried to help humans out against elves before. But was that like the Empire itself, or just like humans in general?
The facts that you know currently are that you've heard that Mother Night Whisperer has helped humans fight elves in the past, and there was a great war that came before the establishment of the succinct districts. You don't know much of the Empire side of things.
Ugbor, aren't you from that way? How long has the Empire been around?
The Empire's been around at least as long as the chief has. Probably a good bit before that, I'd say. Ugbor tries to recall some knowledge from his youth, which is the plot device I'm using to look at my early notes.
Okay, I'll have Ugbor roll a history check as well then.
You can have guidance.
Because I do have some stuff on, yeah, on the Empire here. Okay, history check.
And Dustin, I don't know if you've seen Munson's thing, but he said he'd like to say each runic name of each symbol on the portrait and see if anything happens.
Oh, I did not. Thank you for telling me. Yeah, he tried. He says all the names that he knows of the runes in the portrait, and nothing really happens.
Those weird words.
But your history check, Ugbor, was 19 plus spells 2 for a total of 21. You know, as far as you know, being in Orc, your history is very limited. You are told by the Empire that the Emperor has been long reigning, and propaganda will reign forevermore. Long heritage, long live the Emperor, that sort of stuff. You haven't been taught a lot about the history. You know that it's been around at least as long as the districts, if not longer.
There you guys have it. Ugbor also recalls, don't know if this is helpful to you all, but the current emperor's name is Ander.
Ander Adelcaster. How much do these portraits weigh, Dustin? Can I put them in my bag?
They don't weigh much. They're portraits. They are canvas and wood with some embellishments and framing. They might weigh maybe 5 pounds each. And if it helps you guys at all, for reference, this is a thing that exists. If you look on the map just north of Milton on the Empire side, you will notice the Adelcaster Divide, the northern boundary of the Empire that divides the scattered wilds from the southern portion of that peninsula, which is the Empire. And also, Ugbor, you would know this in case it was never established. Halfer and Faldover, the islands there outside of Olakra, and Zan are all Empire
I'm back.
as well.
Where
Gotcha.
is Zan? Oh, okay, right here.
Yeah,
I passed through Zan
you did.
very briefly.
That was the heavy industrial area that was
Yes.
big in mining, the granite out of this river basin, as well as the forestry in the area.
Yes, I passed through there for about a week right before making it to Rove.
So yeah, so that's the thing right there. A little history.
In the bag.
And in
What
the
a
bag they
thing.
go.
And another fucking portal to the astral sea opens up.
Yeah, we should be probably looking at, detect magic and shit.
Oh, at
Dispel
Munson,
if we have it.
Munson, I'm assuming that you can hear me, and service isn't bad. The guys established that they now have a magical silver weapon of some sort. It's made of metal that looks like mercury that, once solidified, looks like it's Damascus in pattern because the waves of the metal solidify in process. When Vorik has it, it prefers to be a bow. When he passes it to Pel, it turns into a mooring star, and it seems to shift state with whoever is wielding it. So that's the thing. Just so you are aware of that. That came about as Vorik mentioned about daggering everything when he came out of the void while holding this scrap piece of metal that Flint had taken from the Dragon Cave. So there's that.
More loot. What's over here?
Look, I don't know if you're still there, Vorik. Vorik, you hear this in your mind. But they're all gone. Bayside is as good as done. Stay away if you can. The voice you don't recognize.
Do I not? I thought I talked to him after that.
Did you? I didn't think you did.
I don't know, because
I'll tell you what.
had dead brain.
Roll a d4 for me. Evens, you know him. Evens, you remember or have recollection of the memory of his voice. Okay. No, it sounds kind of familiar, but you can't place it. But he does say that Bayside is gone.
But so me, as in not Vorik,
Right.
is assuming it's Brewster.
Mhm.
Right?
That's correct.
Me, as in Vorik, is going to go and just look to the sky and go, Malar?
Pel, you hear Vorik say Malar.
Stop that. Don't say that.
Somebody's talking to me. I don't know who it is. It didn't sound like Saloon.
I've seen you talking to some rock before. Maybe find that rock in your bag.
I'll find it and be
You
like,
talked to a mirror before too.
Nope. We ain't doing that.
when I find the rock, be like, who is this?
New Rock, who dis?
I was going to say New Brain, who dis?
Okay. You ask who this is.
Get a
No,
message tomorrow.
no response comes.
New Life, who dis? Has the mirror? Yeah, we've talked after I died, right? We had the mirror and I pulled that shard out.
Mhm.
Okay, I know what that thing is. That's a no.
Yeah, that happened in the basement in Foster's dungeon,
Okay, yeah, that thing's a no.
and that's also
is-
currently in.
In my bag.
Is it in your bag? Okay, yeah, it's in your bag.
I have the candle in my bag. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a in case of emergency pull glass shard. Is what that is.
Matt, in this lighting, you have a young Snape vibe going on, and I love it.
Yeah, the regular kitchen lots were like way too bright. So like something a little bit more mellow.
Dig it.
They get some mood lighting.
Gotta spice it up.
Man, I said if we play at Cody's again, I'm gonna buy one of them damn. They always put them out on Halloween. Them damn light bulbs that flicker like a flame.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Just buy those for his light.
I'm just going to look at the other stuff that was still here. I remember a silver cup, so I'm gonna pick it up.
Okay. You touch it with your hands.
Yeah.
Okay. You pick up the cup and examine it, and on this chalice, it's engraved with all kinds of decorative engravings. There are little bits of some sort of shiny stones around it that it looks very nice. It's not immediately apparent what they are. Some are yellow, some are clear. But on it, there's pictures of different animals and trees, vines, decoratively carved around the entire cup. It's made of metal. You're not sure what metal it is, but it's silver in color.
Ah, this is cool. Hey, Flint. Look at this. Look how cool it is.
That's cool.
Look at it better. Inspect it.
Ah, you would like me to investigate it.
Okay, Flint. As you really dive into this chalice and try and figure out what if there's any hidden meanings here, anything to derive that's not apparent. Before we get into that, Vorik, are you attuning to your item that you have, or what are you doing with that? You mentioned it.
Yeah, I was doing that earlier.
Cool. So you have to. So you're basically sitting off to yourself, focusing this item and testing it and seeing if you can make it liquefy and re-solidify into anything or just bow itself, and just really studying this item both in its intricacy and simplicity in the same visual appearance. So you're over there doing that. Flint, as you look at the chalice that Pell has, you take out a knife and try and chip a little tiny piece off, just like an ever so small bit, so you can kind of examine it further, see what the metal is. You examine the intricacy of the designs and the carvings to see what tools might have been used to carve them, what purposes might have served at one point in time. You look at the bottom, the top, see if there's any hidden compartments or pieces that might unscrew or disassemble in any way. And to the best of your knowledge, it looks like a solid silver cast chalice. There's no parts to it other than a piece of fur or what it would basically be felt that has been scraped on the bottom as padding to make sure it's soft on the tabletop. It's a very nice piece of item that would be owned by somebody who has money. But it seems to be just a standard drinking chalice. The decorations on it are purely decorative as far as you can tell. You don't see a story to be told here. There's no progression of images. It's just mainly almost a druidic-like representation of trees and vines and ivy combined with some animals decoratively here and there. You don't know what it means. It just seems to be very nicely done.
This seems to be very nicely done.
Looks pretty neat.
Yeah, and by the way, as you took off that piece of metal and rubbed the shaving across your hand, the little streak on your hand turned ever so slightly blue as you rubbed it around and let it absorb into your hand. And taking out a rag and wiping it off, you established that this is actually solid silver.
This is actually solid silver.
Oh, I love silver. I'm gonna take out my water skin and just like pour a little cup of water
Okay.
and drink it.
Okay.
What happened?
Say what?
Did somebody leave or
Yeah.
join?
I think my son was getting off his phone.
Oh, I didn't hear
Oh.
anything.
There he is.
Yeah, don't be judgy, bro.
Well, I was confused because nobody actually left, but I heard the sound.
But
Yeah, so you pour liquid from your water skin into the chalice and drink from the chalice. It's water. Tastes a little bit metallic because of the cup, but not bad.
That's refreshing. In the bag.
There you go.
Now you got herpes.
Dragon AIDS.
Uh,
Got Alfred AIDS.
Munson, did you hear what I said about Vorik's weapon?
Maybe.
Okay, I didn't know if you still had service or not. Basically, when they were in the Astral Sea, they were able to grab 2 items before they were teleported out. One of the items Vorik grabbed, he put one away in his bag, and then the other, he made a comment about stabbing the next thing that they investigate before it to do anything with it. And as he mentions the word dagger, the rod, the pipe or whatever it was, shape shifts, turns into liquid, then reforms in his hand into a dagger that is double faced, and then after a second remelds and turns into a longbow that refused to turn back into a dagger because it didn't want to. And after some experimenting, the item was passed back and forth between members of your party, and everybody that grabbed it, when a new person was holding it, it liquefied and resolidified into a new weapon. As Pell was wielding the item, it was a morning star, Flint was a sickle, and so on.
Oh, nice. Sounds like it's a fancy little toy.
Little shape-shifting boy. So Munson, what else is in here? We found that chalice. That robe looks sick as hell in 2 ways.
It's true, I can see farther than I've ever seen before.
It looks awesome, but like slightly disturbing. But
Oh, don't worry, I'm just keeping an eye on you.
many eyes.
Munson, by the way, you had some transit going on. You were down by the dragon. You came back and were ferried up to this cave by the griffins to save your spell slots. It took some time, but it was worth it, maybe. And you're up in this cave.
How long were we down there?
Maybe 30 minutes, an hour in total. That's a sick picture, dude.
Kind of looks like Dovin Band from Magic.
So, as you're back in this cave and you're establishing, Vorik is attuning to whatever this item is. He doesn't know yet, but he's attuning to it. The rest of the guys are kind of going around and seeing what items are left. You investigated the portraits and things. As you turn around to re-engage with your friends, let me look at my notes real quick just to make sure I say the right thing. Is it here? It's here. Okay. Yeah, as you turn around, you see a small glass orb, hovering above Flint. It's near the roof of the cave, probably about 3-4 inches in diameter, just floating about 10 feet above him.
Now, these orbs that we see, they're orbs that they're just seeing eyes. They're not actually an object, correct?
Yeah, it appears to be. Let me just double check that so I don't say the wrong thing. Boop. Yeah, it's just a kind of a glass, almost a luminous orb, about 3-4 inches in diameter, just circling, floating.
Do we have our invoice speak still, or is that down at the moment? I don't know if you rolled for the day or not.
That's currently down. It's not been cast for the day.
Well, let's see. That means it's able to see off somebody.
Can't do that right now. You're focusing on your bow. Unless you
Oh,
decide
I,
to stop.
I'm just saying whenever
Sure.
I went ahead and rolled it before I forget about it.
Okay.
But whenever it's good, that
I think I'll just I'll shoot a firebolt at it. Just get it out of here. See if it
Okay.
does anything to it.
You cast a firebolt up at the ceiling that hits the target pretty easily. It's not far away or hard to hit in your case. It doesn't seem to do anything other than stop moving for a second and then start to move closer in your direction.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Gotta test out my experiments. Oh, I look at Palano. Orb above, incoming at an angle, and I kind of point the direction. Obviously, if no one else has see and viz right now, they're not gonna see what I'm looking at. But
Let me. I will cast Detect Magic as my firebolt thingy.
Okay. You do feel magic in the area. You feel that it is. Oh shoot! What is that? It is divination magic in your nearby area.
Hey Flint, you're being scryed on right now.
Freckles, you see it? Get it, girl. Get it. You get that?
So is Freckles in the cave with you, or did you leave Freckles outside with Spaghetti?
Oh no, she's definitely out here with me.
Okay. Freckles looks at you and looks around like, look. She doesn't see anything other than you and your group, and she's very confused as to what you're talking about. But she keeps looking around the room.
Wait, can I see the glass ball?
No.
Oh, never mind. I don't do anything. I say,
You just told Freckles to go get something, and it's like throwing a fake tennis ball, and she's trying to figure out where it is.
Bill's gonna like get in his bag and get that scrying mirror because we wrapped like a token of anti-scrying around it. He's gonna take that token off and give it to Flint. Be like, you should probably attune to this, so that little thing stops happening.
do I not have multiple of those?
Multiple of tokens.
Yeah.
You did at one time. I think you had 5 or 6 or something like that.
But we have been handing them out to people.
Yep.
And that was before
Right now-
Bill was
I still got 3 left.
Now, what all are you attuned to, Vorik? I asked last session, but I don't think you were there at the very beginning. I know Ugbor and Pal are attuned to the tokens
Well,
of non-detection.
so
Munson is too.
Is Munson?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
I would technically have the armor and the token. Because I don't think I have anything else that requires attunement. Other than the bow now. I'll have the bow there.
Okay. Okay, but yeah. So the orb is still there, and now, Pell, you said you took the glass shard out, correct?
I took the shard out,
Mhm.
and I mostly just took the anti-scrying token off of it, and then I just put the shard back in.
Okay.
And here, buddy, you should probably keep this and use it. You might have to give up one of your little fancy gadgets, but it's kind of worth it.
I want to give. If I see him have that, I want to be like, I think I have those in here, and pull out another one. If he's gonna keep it.
I'll as I see that my magic goes through and he's trying to chase it, I'll just dispel it.
Okay. You dispel magic on the item, and no sooner do you wave your hand, the item vibrates quickly and then pops.
I hate when people follow me. Even I don't even like following me.
Yeah.
All right,
It's a tiny pet peeve I have.
I got rid of it. Um, Good news is with this robe, I always can see with invisibility. So if they're invisible or any sense of invisible, I can see them. So
It's very handy.
yeah. All right, so I did Arcana check every item. I did not spend the time to actually cast Identify on each item, which I probably should have the first day or second day, but I chose not to. Um, so that's how I organized each section by whether it was mundane or if it was magical and so forth. And actually, all the coinage is gone except the nugget, just to re-clarify. All that's left is a ginormous gold nugget.
Well, the guy didn't have room for everything. He left the 2,000 copper and he left 100 silver.
What? I told him to take it all, that bastard.
He's like trying
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, we had our gold, all that fun stuff, kind of categorized and set in here. You have the chalice right now, right?
Yep. It's just a chalice, I think.
I mean, if we're not gonna really play anything right this second, I could start identifying each item that's left.
I think Bork's gonna be holding that bow for a minute, so we got a little bit of time.
Yeah, and it's pretty instant with my identification, so it's not like it's that hard to do. It just takes a little bit of magical hands, and you can figure out whether it requires 2 minutes to use it and so forth. And I can also increase the spell slots, and then I could always rest afterwards and gain most of them back. How many more items do we have left besides the chalice and obviously the bow that Borg's playing with?
There is a small marble bull figurine, and the portraits that were already put away, the harmonica, and I think I already gave you the potion. There was a potion of Dragon Majesty.
I
that should
did
be
not
it.
get that one.
Okay, well, I'll say that you can get that one item. That one potion is the potion of Dragon Majesty.
And do I know what that does exactly?
Yes, I can share that. Let me find that real quick. But other than that, it's just the harmonica, the bull figure, and the pictures.
Okay. I'll take the moment it takes to identify each left item. I'll use my 4 slots of first level, and I'll basically it takes 1 minute to cast. Doesn't take very long to do. And then anything that was in the magical pile, the 4 items, the marble bowl, all that, I will identify and see if there's anything worth value, or if they're just magical to touch and something so minor that it ain't worth really mentioning.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
So you're going to see if anything's arcane first. If it's arcane, you're going to identify it. Is that right?
So when I did my Arcana check on the day 2, I believe it was, I organized in each square which items were of Arcana and which ones were mundane. So
Correct.
whatever I believed was Arcana, those are the ones I would identify.
Yeah, the only thing in that pile will be the robe, the potion, and the scroll that you found. Everything else, as far as you could tell, seemed mundane.
Okay. I will use it on the chalice that Pell picked up and see if it does anything. Just so instead of trying things out, I'll see if that works.
Okay. You cast Identify on the chalice, and as the magic leaves your hands into the item, you get no resonance. Nothing comes back.
Okay. Yep. Okay. It's just very fancy. Probably worth. Probably has a good gold value.
Yeah, I took a drink out of it. It's a little bit metally, but somebody'd like it.
So gold. So this. What color would this Dragon Majesty potion be? 'Cause it says it can be gold, chromatic, metallic. I mean, it's really. I mean, it looks gold, right? Correct.
Correct.
The stuff itself.
The potion itself is actually a violet color.
Okay, and it would have a single scale, but I wouldn't really know which scale technically. I mean, I guess unless the scale was very obvious. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep that one on me. Everything else just seems kind of be that fortune. I'll go over to Vorik. Like, do you want me to identify that for you? And then see if you really want to attune to it before you finalize your decision. You might not be here.
What was that?
I said, would you like me to identify the item you're trying to attune to, just in case it's not worth it?
I mean,
It'll be a little quicker, and then I can let you know the properties, and you can decide if it's worth the time to really focus and attune to such an item.
Vorik, you have about 15 minutes left of your attunement process. If you abandon to let him identify, you'll have to restart.
I mean, if I'm that far into it, I would assume I'll just finish it, and then he can look at it after that.
Oh, that's fine. I just figured I'd ask. Okay.
Okay.
And then the bowl or the potion, I obviously know. The robe, I already know.
By the way, there's one item floating in the potion, Munson, and it seems to be some sort of gemstone.
Really? Anybody know anything about gems?
I'd take a look.
I had a bunch of diamonds at one point.
Yeah, this is not a diamond, I don't believe. Alright, Flint, take a look at this for me. See if you recognize what kind of gem this might be inside. And I'll hold it up in front of you and kind of put it like 3 inches from your face. There you go. Tell me what gem this is if you can.
Hey, Flint, with your investigation there and your background of tinkering and deriving more from items than their individual worth, you have a lot of experience in using certain gems for certain things and a lot of other things for certain things. It's hard to tell without proper instruments, but this seems to be just by nature color, assuming the color is not augmented or tainted by other chemicals that transmute gem formation and things. Assuming it's natural default color, you're guessing this is probably shoot. My brain went dead.
That's a terrible item.
Yeah.
Not
Gosh.
that
The,
one.
the gem of the unknown. Damn
my-
it.
Oh no. Give me a second. This is terrible.
I won't judge you. It's okay.
Do it. Tell me I'm terrible. It's great.
It's an amethyst.
Amethyst. Yes. Thank
Oh,
you.
I guessed it. I just threw the first one out there I could think of.
Yep. Assuming there's no muddling of the gem and it's supposed to be its natural original color, this is an amethyst.
So my question is, if it's an amethyst, does that mean I would turn into a amethyst dragon?
From what you identified at the potion.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You're the boss. I just work here.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I don't know shit about an amethyst dragon, but you know what? It sounds like a great time when you're in battle to turn into a big ass dragon and see what happens.
Vorik, at this time, your attunement process is complete, and you feel like you have a grasp on how to handle this weapon.
Yay! Whoop whoop!
Anthony, your new token looks fucking awesome.
Whose?
Of course.
Oh my gosh, yes it
Oh, there it
does.
Yeah, my heat.
Where?
I don't have my new one out yet, do I?
That's awesome, dude. I didn't notice that.
I see Monson's new
there's
one.
my new one. Yeah.
Yeah. You need to put that in your main Roll20 thing, bub. I like it.
All right. Gotta edit it.
Wait, where are these?
They're just on the map, and Munson has his as his actual Roll20 token, like his
Oh.
avatar token.
Yeah. Oh, see, look at Pell. You always come through. I can never see the DM, but here you are on video, smoking a blunt. I saw it. I saw it.
Nah,
Not
Can't
today.
afford that one.
yeah, just a
No, you're the only one that ever goes through with my internet. I don't know why, but you're the only one.
He's the prettier of the two, anyway.
It's the hair. It's the hair.
So, tuned to this thing. Munson, what can you tell me about this thing now?
I'll identify as you attune to it.
Okay.
Oh,
He-
I'm done. I'm done now.
Yeah,
Perfect.
he finished the last few minutes of the process. He is attuned for whatever that means.
And
you-
then I identify.
So you're casting your identify spell.
Yes.
You learn that this weapon is a transmutable weapon that has the name Feybane.
Fey Bang.
Feybane. Feybane. It resembles a shimmering silver amorphous liquid while it changes, and when it solidifies into a weapon, small waves rippling across the new form gives it a Damascus-like forge pattern. This weapon does the typical damage of whatever weapon it transmutes into, and the weapon it transmutes into is mostly decided by the weapon itself. It is a mildly sentient weapon that decides its own form based on the holder and what it derives of the holder's intent and skills. When attuned to the item, you can select from 10 options that it can transmute into, but it has a clear preference. While wielding the weapon, it does the standard weapon damage for whatever weapon it is, plus 1d10 radiant damage when used to attack a creature of Fey ancestry. When
Is
attack,
this?
good.
Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
If an attack is successful with this weapon against a Fey creature or a creature of Fey ancestry, the creature must make a DC 15 Charisma saving throw or be stunned for 1 round, ignoring immunity to stunned conditions.
Ooh, fancy.
If that target has legendary actions, they can use a legendary action to dismiss this effect, and I will screenshot that and send it to you.
Cool. I'll basically inform it to Vorik. But my question is, when I do the identify, does the weapon itself kind of hint at what it would prefer to look like?
It changes for every person. Right now, it is very comfortable being the bow that it is in Vorik's hands.
Okay. And it doesn't seem like there's any curse or anything on it.
Not that you were able to find.
Okay. Alright. Where did he get this item? I forget off the top of my noggin.
It was a disguised piece of scrap from the Dragon's Cave that Flint took.
Got you. Okay. Cool.
Well,
Oh, if only you had legendary actions, and you could dismiss the condition.
Is it technically silverized?
Yeah, it's silver in color. Maybe I'm not getting your question. Are you talking about, like, is it a silvered weapon?
Yes.
I believe it's a magical weapon, which bypasses all that anyways.
It would be basically both if it counted. It would be silvered in that it qualifies for the silvered ability if a creature has a qualification for that, but it is magical, yes, as well.
that 1d10, that's like whenever he hits like a creature with Fey, right?
Yes.
Yeah, if he's successful.
So any creature like elves, any fey creature like fairies or fairy dragons, anything that's Fey ancestry.
Oh, what does on the Divine Rage? I have it written down that I get the -1 to Perception, but then I also have a 1d8 written down, but I don't know what it's for.
You have a disadvantage on perception, my friend. And when you attack a creature while you are raging, you get a bonus 1d8.
Okay.
Don't hit me with that bow.
Well, you're not a fey creature, so you're okay. Or oh, you are technically fey, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm fate oriented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's
I was gonna say.
fey presenting.
Yeah. Fey represent. I'm a blue fey. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm a water bitch.
So what's up with this gold nugget you guys are talking about?
No, you're a blue elf.
It's racist. I'm a purple elf.
No, not you, Munson.
Purple is almost blue.
Wait, what'd I do?
You're a blue elf.
Damn you, motherfuckers.
So yeah, the only thing obviously left on the ground, I believe, unless I'm mistaken, is the ingot of gold. It is a bar of metal about a foot long, 6 inches wide and thick, in a trapezoid kind of pattern. Ugbor knows very well that this item weighs 550 pounds, but in totality, it has enough mass to, if sold, probably gather. So well, I guess sold or forged into coins, it would be worth about 200,000 gold.
Yeah, I did the math.
Hell, I
I did.
tried to
I
pick it
did.
up.
I had lots of time, so I did lots of math and lots of things while you guys were gone. Yeah.
I'm gonna grunt and try to pick it up. And eventually just start dragging it. It's pretty easy because I can drag a lot. But I cannot carry 550 pounds.
Yeah, I can also drag it.
Oh god!
Yeah, it's about like that too.
Alright, so that weighs a lot.
Yeah, you guys see Pell and Ugbor as an example, like the two largest people of your group strain, and especially on Ugbor, just veins bulge and pulse as he's dragging this hunk of metal across the dirt, trying very hard not to drop it on his fingers.
Oh, jeez.
So, how do we get that out of here?
We don't really need to take those things, do we?
I mean, it could be worth a lot of money.
I mean, it's worth 250,000 gold.
Oh my god. We have to take this. We have to sell it.
Oh, okay. Do you want to explain to me how we're gonna do that?
Don't know. Can you take objects with you when you teleport?
No. I mean, it would have to volunteer to go with us. But I don't believe that is one that I could really move.
Hmm.
Man, they really don't give a good details of a Videlkin, do they?
It's a race who belongs to MTG, so they don't care.
Yeah, basically it's a partial amphibious / humanoid, with has earless, basically has earless viewing, so they really don't see any ears.
You're a wannabe Trident who just
But then I'm
stays
also a
himself.
mix of a fucked up elf with the amphibious background with a little bit of standard human in me. Great. I'm basically useless.
You're the worst of all three races.
Perfect. I like it. Long as I'm the worst, no one can be the best. That's how it works. So, I don't wanna shit on any parades here, but as much as I would love to take that pile of gold with us, I think we have other pressing matters than to worry about the gold. I mean, if you'd like, we could bury it and come back later if we successfully defeat the war and worry about it afterwards. But
I actually like that idea a lot.
By the time we come back, someone may come in here and find it if we just leave it sitting out. So
If we want to spend a few hours and team up together and dig a hole per se, find maybe something softer, maybe in this area, not over the rocky brick area, but something might be a little softer. Even though this is a cave, that might
Does
be a good idea.
does Jeremiel have anything that might help us out with this?
Oh, he's sleeping permanently.
He does not have anything that would help with digging a hole or anything. I don't believe. Let me double check.
He would talk to us about it. Does that count?
He would, and he would tell you.
He would dance.
Let me look at his thing. Oop, can I do that? I can do that. Nope.
We make the gold thingy smaller and make it louder for like a little bit of time.
He says, I can do this, and he moves his hands in some sort of arcane fashion, and you see a hole just appear on the ground, like a square hole that's like 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet.
Wait, what the fuck?
He made a
He
hole.
goes from not being able to help to exactly what we needed.
Well, 2 feet's not really big enough to fit anything. Unless it's a permanent hole or a hole big enough that we could slide this lump of turd in there.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, we could
Well,
technically
let's start it then.
we could use Pell with his mighty hammer, and we could break this into smaller pieces, and then as he makes 2 by 2 slots, we could throw him in. We could put them in each spot and have them labeled in some kind of runic way or some way that we would know. I mean, I could put a rogue incantation on it, but any rogues or thieves that come in here will be able to read it, so it's not really a good idea.
He says, "Oh, you need it bigger? Okay." And then he just waves his hands again, and now it's like 6 feet by 6 feet by 6 feet.
Guys, do you think he uses that for bodies?
I don't think he knows what a body is. He talks to the dead, but doesn't necessarily have to see the body to talk to him. Now, does it look like it's just a hole to the abyss, or does it look like it's a hole in the actual ground itself?
It looks like it's a hole in the dirt.
6 by 6. Now, is it 6 feet deep, or is it just 6 by 6?
Well, no, sorry, my bad. 5 feet. 5.
Can you go one size larger? Is that possible?
No, that's the extent of my my range, I think.
Okay, well, we could break this down in half and fit. Can you make more than one?
I think just one at a time.
When you make it, it closes back up?
Yep, kind of.
Will you
Kind
explain?
of.
Will you explain what you're doing so I can understand this better before we just throw shit in it?
And Jeremiel stands up from sitting on the ground, just fiddling, and he walks over to the area where the hole is that he made, and then he jumps in the hole, but his feet hit the ground on the surface of the hole, and the illusion is vanished.
Wonderful. You know what? I could make it work a lot better if you guys really want to. I can make this work a lot faster. So what I will do, because I have shit that I stole from dead bodies. So where I have so much fucking writing, I gotta figure out where I'm at. Is it in this
You're right
spot?
here with friends.
That's very kind of you. Oh, I believe I know what it's called. Give me a second. Okay, so I'm going to let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pit, and I'm going to create a pit, make it 100 square feet, and then I'm going to draw it out, and then as it's created, then I will drop the object into it, and then we will cover the pit. I will draw something over the pit, like maybe like a cellar door, and then I'll put a lock on it, like a lock, and then I can arcane lock it.
Okay. Are you using paints?
Yeah, I'm using the pigments. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So use the pigments to draw a hole. Now, how big are you drawing the hole? The brick was only about 2 feet long.
Um, uh,
Or, I'm sorry,
for 550 pounds, so it's only 2 feet long.
Yeah, yeah. Gold is very heavy. It's like 2 feet long
Okay,
by
so
like.
then what I would do is
yeah.
I would do like so you don't do this. I'm gonna in the wall itself. So like, let me see if I can find a wall back here that I like. Move character. Thank you. I'm gonna actually open up and draw a pit right in front of this because that'd be kind of obvious for me.
Okay.
And I will do 4 feet by 4 feet.
Okay.
Drop it in there, and I'll make it. Let's do 6 feet deep.
Okay. So roll a performance check for me to see how well you can draw this hole with the pigments. Or I guess paint would be the technical.
So would that be a performance, or would that be sleight of hand? Would that be
The performance.
okay? It's a +1. I'm gonna look at Pal and be like, give me that guidance, fool.
There.
I don't know. What does it show? S3. Okay. My first roll tonight was a natural 20.
So 20 plus 1 plus
24.
3. Yeah.
Dude, I'm
+4.
calling hacks because I think that might be the second session in a row that your first roll was a 20.
Yeah, I'll
Good.
take
So
a picture, baby.
so you draw the hole. You just like shamble it together. Just hole, squares, lines down, distance perspective about that deep, and then kind of shade it in a little bit. But it's not a hard thing to do to draw a hole in the ground, but you do it very well. And as soon as you finish drawing it, it just fades into reality and becomes real in front of your eyes.
You have to remember, I like to make things very OCD-like, so it's fucking pretty. I like the walls are perfect. There's no chance of debris coming off the sides. It literally looks like I made a nice cell room.
Just cookie cutter, like a piece of chocolate cake taken out of the ground.
There it goes. It's loading. I haven't moved it, and it's my favorite. It's my black metal die.
So the hole is drawn and conjured. Nice.
There we go.
So that is drawn and there now. Are you dragging or attempting to drag
So I would have Pell and Ugbor use their strengths together to pick it up, set it in there, and then as they set it in there, I will do another paint over it that matches the ground we are in. I want it to look exactly the same, and then I'm gonna put on top of that, like against this rock, I will put symbols of in Vidalcan language. I will put down what was abbreviation I was gonna use. That'll make it funny. Nope. 3.1.
Okay. So easily enough done. Pell and Ugbor lift the item over there. You two, are you guys dropping the gold in there, or how are you placing the gold down into the 5 feet hole? Is it 5 feet? Is
Hell,
it
how
6?
you want to do this?
It's
You kind of cut out there. You said it's and
Yeah.
so it's 4x4 and 6 feet deep.
yeah, 4, 4, 6. How are you guys getting into the bottom of the hole?
So we'll like slowly try to lower it down there.
You can
And,
use
like-
rope.
Yeah, I have 70 feet of rope.
Yeah.
You could technically take, if we have any kind of cloth or anything extra, we could wrap it in that and then rope around it and tie it off, lower it down, and then whatever rope we have, we can toss it in with it, and then I'll just cover it. Do
Okay.
you guys want to do that?
Yeah. sounds
We don't have any. At least I don't have any cloth. I do got the rope.
good. I got
Maybe
mulch
we can just
for-
make sort of like a 2-loop harness that we can release.
He'll like pull out an old T-shirt. I'll use this here.
Hey,
Okay, so you're going to put the 550-pound ingot of gold into a cotton shirt. Is that right?
yeah, but not just the cotton shirt. To the shirt, we are going to affix a rope,
Mm-hmm.
which we can then also maybe loop vertically around the bar.
Okay,
It's going to be very jerry-rigged.
so the rope is wrapped around the gold.
Yeah.
Okay, so the cloth is just there more as like
Just a cover
a
in
cover to keep the dirt off. Okay.
Yes.
So, not hard to do. A little time consuming, but not hard. You lay the brick down carefully, the two of you. Take out the cloth and the rope. You make a rig design where you have the two ropes laid down, cloth over top of that, and then you both pick up the gold, place it in the cradle of cloth and rope, fold the cloth up, tie the rope, pull it down. Flint is looking on, like just maybe critiquing a little bit in his mind. Flint, what are you doing when you see this?
Oh, I'm totally doing the dad thing.
Mhm.
That I'm just like watching and giving out bad advice the whole time. Just like, oh, maybe you should try blah 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 blah. Blah. You know, just
Mhm.
Hold it steady. Steady.
here. You get over here and hold the flashlight.
No.
So, with a little banter from Daddy Flint, you get the rope tied around the brick, and you try to lift it vertically, and it's a different angle, but it's easier to lift because you're using your entire body to lift it up rather than trying to get under a brick of metal. You have to like dig your fingers in the dirt to get a leverage on it. You now have a better leverage on it, so it's easier to pick up. So you just pick up a little bit, kind of scoot over, and then lower it down into the hole. You guys can't get the rope off, so I guess you chuck your rope in the hole, right?
Let's see. Can we assume that I spent like half the rope, and maybe I can save half?
Yeah,
Just cut it.
yeah, easily. You have 70 feet of rope, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, easily to use 35 feet of rope to lower a brick on two sides by 6 feet. Yeah, tying and knots and everything included. It's fine.
Cool. All right. So I now have 35 feet of rope.
So, Mustin, you said you wanted to cover the hole. So once that is down there and taken care of, you take out the paints and redraw the dirt on top, complete with a couple little pieces of tile and rocks here to make it believable, using your past performance check. And you draw the numbers that you put there on the dirt as well. And as you finish, you back up, and the paints just transition into reality, and the numbers are like black chalk that has been marked on the dirt.
Oh yeah.
All right, that is complete. I think it looks the same. I'm kind of looking at an angle. A little. Yeah, I think it matches. Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was on Dragon Boy. Yeah, I figured it'd come in use one day after we had to throw him to his demise.
It's pretty handy.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know he had them. That's fascinating. We were able to hide something phenomenal. Now, hopefully, none of us get memory wiped and forget what it is. That would be a bad idea.
That would be very, very sad.
Where are we headed, guys? Because we are just throwing days away sitting in here now that you guys are all back and we have one less eyeball Ugg
Yeah. Perhaps we leave the lair. That's a good start, right?
Yeah.
But where's our next destination from after the lair? I mean, he wanted us to find the impossible place that you just have to actually walk into. Um,
Yeah.
I
What
had-
else did Gurky kind of changed the script? We're now kind of just helping.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see. Locate the long red dragon value. Orb, that's done. Completed the flint. Did the book. He wants the memory tree. Is kind of the last thing on his mind for us to do, so he can go find some memories.
Flint, maybe you should
Yes.
message Gurky and apologize for the bag blowing up. Because
And
Yeah,
Even if
he's
we do,
probably
we
pretty
tell him?
sore with us, actually.
even if we do find the memory tree, how are we supposed to get him over here now?
Perhaps Gurky will work that out.
Hey, boss, we blew up your
still let him
bag.
know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sir, just so I'm clear, were you actually sending a message just there, or were you just saying that?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, cool. So you said sorry I blew up your bag, boss. Is that basically the gist of it?
Pretty much, yeah.
You hear there's a pause and a sigh. Well, okay. Details later. Let me know the progress on your current mission when it resolves. The tree has become more important. And that's all you get.
Well, to find a tree.
Flint, before we set off, it's been a few days, and I think that I've lost the kinetic dampener's ability. You care to charge me up?
Ah, yes. And I will do that. I will charge them up.
Okay. So Flint, I think you were given a token of non-detection. Is that right?
Yes.
Did you attune to it?
Yes.
How many
just,
attune slots do you have?
I just figured I was doing that while everybody else was attuning to their stuff.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm just checking because you're a artificer. How many slots do you have of attunement?
I have
Some of you had like 4 already taken.
4 infusions.
Do you not have to
Does
attune
that
to?
count as an infusion?
No,
Some infusions, if like, because you can like infuse and make a magical item. I mean, those you would have to like attune to. I think if you give somebody an infusion, they have to attune to it. I'm not sure. I've not really played non-boss before.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've played with it. I don't think so. I think it's I think you can just take a non-magical item and make it into magical for a duration, and it doesn't require. Let's see. It depends on what item. Let's see. So the weapon, for example. So if he enhanced my my book or my rod staff to enhance arcane focus, it requires attunement to have the enhanced arcane focus attached.
Yeah, it's like he is attuned to the magic, but you're wielding the item with the benefit.
Yeah.
But not everything I think requires that. Yeah.
No, it depends on what
So-
item. So
Yeah.
like my focus would require it. If he did defense, armor does not require it, but he does it to a straight mundane weapon, it doesn't require attunement.
But your homunculus does not require attunement.
Nope.
Homunculus does
Um,
not require attunement.
Let's
Mind
see.
sharpener doesn't it?
Mind sharpener does not.
It's just armor, magic strength, the boots of winding, the arcane focus, and the propulsion armor is required.
That and like any, if he was to make like a magic item that like requires attunement, then that would, obviously require attunement. But
Well,
besides
yeah,
that,
a lot of these are things that are mundane that he has to make into
yeah,
magic, but not
Yeah.
necessarily.
Okay, yeah,
I
so
think
you're good. I think just the spell refueling ring, and the dampener. No, the dampener's not good. Not the thing.
I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm going to unattune to the scrying stone now that I have such vision with this robe and have permanent see and viz and I know how to get rid of them. And I will tell Flint to enhance my arcane focus, and then I will basically attune to it each day.
Okay.
If he wants to do that, and then I will keep the +2 from the benefacts instead of the +1. If you're good with that, Flint.
Sure.
Oh, there we go. Problem solved.
So that's just the one item for me that we were gonna do.
So there you go. And you guys have all that figured out, and you are still inside the cave of Adamek.
so. Should we just head for like a forest, or should we just not think
Can
about the
we
tree?
load up the map by chance, Tim?
Mm-hmm.
As if I'm looking at my own map.
I specifically would like to exit the lair first, and there's a method to my madness.
Okay, yeah, we can go to the edge of the cave.
All right. Once there, I just basically look around for signs of anything negative that may have happened to somebody that was leaving the lair with loot.
Okay.
We
Right,
did that
'cause we-
yesterday and didn't have any issues.
Yeah, you took care of
Okay.
that already.
Okay,
Yeah, we
cool.
did that the day before. I think we did
Fair
it on
enough,
day
fair
1
enough.
before we took off to Cliff Creek.
Fair enough. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I double checked that because I want to make sure Ding Dong didn't fall off and die. Hello again. Let's see. Do we have anyone need to go anywhere in particular right now? Does anyone have
I think
a
we
desire?
all need to go to Steve.
Steve. Where's Steve?
It's actually the Las Vegas of Falonkort.
The city that never sleeps.
So Vorik, I'm not sure if you have told anyone about your. Well, you mentioned to Pell that you heard somebody, but I don't think you told them the details yet. But you, currently alone, have heard that Bayside is all but fallen. You all know that South Sunder has fallen. Fiola is without cog or leadership and is being held by the elves in some degree. Cliff Craig is as it largely was, and that's all that remains of the succinct.
Would you guys? This is gonna be a weird thought process, but you guys like to head to northeast and try to see if we can get to the line where we believe the defenses will be starting, and see if we can see anything.
That's actually, I like that idea.
Because I think the idea would be to just kind of see what we're up against. I feel so the fight that I keep dreaming about is forest area, right? It's a darkened forest area.
As far as you know,
As far as my dream went, so in my mind, I would believe potentially somewhere in this area could have been that great battle. In my mind, based off the memory of the map. Not that I've ever seen that location, but those are trees, so I would assume potentially that might be where my big fight may be. Have we ever actually found? I'm trying to remember. Did we ever find an actual spot for the memory tree, besides in my dreams?
no. You have heard that it's said to be in the scattered wild somewhere.
Oh, way over there on the left by Steve.
Yep, this way.
And how many days left do we have? Are we down
You're
to
you're
12?
you're in the late afternoon of day 14.
So 13 left. Okay. Well, I guess if they're just now developing, we might. You want to do that more towards the after time. So what do you guys want to head to Steve for? I'm trying to remember.
No reason. That is it. It would be cool.
Because
To
it's
stay.
Steve.
Yeah.
I
What
don't
kind
think
of place must you be running if your city is named after a person?
How do we know it's Steve? What if it's Stevai or some
Today.
Stevia.
weird other language?
Steve. They
We were driving.
We don't know. That would be the point of going.
We were on a road trip, and we pulled off to get gas in this town spelled Fuquay. And we went inside. It's like, hey, how do you pronounce your? And like before we could even ask like how their town was pronounced, almost they're like, it's Fuquay. It's like, you guys aren't fun at all.
So, this is like Munson's map that he has, right? That we're looking at.
Correct.
Did they say anything about this big circle over here by in the forest over here? It didn't have like any details or anything.
That was a big
Maybe
marking on, I believe, Foster's map is where Munson got that intel, but it wasn't labeled.
I'm not sure. I know that the dots I put down were, according to what I was understanding, was kind of where his spies were. He had this big spot circled, but didn't have any details on why it was circled. So I don't know if
He has a
maybe
wall
memory
of
tree.
spies.
Maybe the memory tree's over there. I mean, maybe that's where he thinks the memory tree is.
If
Well,
it's supposed
I
to
think
be-
people from Steve would probably have more, hearsay about it. More rumors
Well-
about where it could be found.
Objection
Good.
hearsay.
If we think that the tree might be somewhere in the scattered wilds, we could head that way and stop at these little. Hold on, let me get my dinger.
The red dots.
Yeah, stop at the red dots along the way and see if they're like more of like the little.
There'll
Camp
probably
that-
be like Empire encampments.
Yeah. And I don't really know who was in that tent, but it looked like some fancy mages. So Maybe
they just died. That's all I remember.
yeah, so maybe we can.
Yeah, there
do
was some flirting and then some killing, and then I didn't make it in time.
a lot of fire.
I mean, yeah.
And Munson
Or-
could always just take us back to Rowanwood, like if we get so far out there.
And I could instantly teleport to Cliff Creek too without a problem.
So
I think I'll
I'm-
take us to Foster's place because I've studied the runes there.
if you guys are up for it, I know you want to go towards that red line, which I don't care either way. Like I'm
Well,
down for
we have
either
13
one.
days, so I don't know if going this early would make sense. But
Yeah, I feel like I like the plan of getting over to Somber Frost Woods. That's a heck of a trek, even though we only have to make it one way. And I feel like if we wait to do that may screw the pooch.
So what are you thinking, Akbar?
I'm thinking we go to Somber Frost.
So the idea would be to try to travel from here, hit every red dot we can on our way, but make it to Somber Frost Woods, and by like 2 days left before battle, I teleport us back to Cliff Crag and we angle ourselves up towards Red Ash and head up.
I think so.
I'm cool with that. How about you, Flint? Any observation or any words? The hammer forked that fell asleep.
Probably Channing.
Yeah.
Channing.
What?
Yeah, there.
Do you hear what we're doing?
What?
Exactly.
Yep.
We're gonna go kill another red dragon.
Let's do it.
We're heading to Somber Frost Woods.
So on this map, it's far left. So
Very far.
let's see, from here
God
to here,
damn.
it's a day and a half for 14.5 feet.
Can't we teleport or something?
That would be a very wild teleport of I don't know where the hell would end up, but I could attempt it.
Yeah, I don't want to teleport to 130 feet in the air, someplace over the Scatter Wilds.
I want to point something out that you guys might not have noticed. It was a day and a half travel with mounts. You guys have left your camels and horses tied to a post in the desert for 3 days and forgot about them.
It's very true. They're all dead.
Oh shit.
And
Well,
then
what more?
I mean, the camels, like they're kind of used to it.
I don't know. 3 days is a long time.
Very long time. We should probably go see if the camels are okay.
I would retro
The
it, but
laugh.
I would retro it, but I totally forgot about it, so I'm not retroing anything. It is what it is.
We can stop by Hopewell Harbor on the way.
Hey, didn't you mention? Well, who were you talking to a little bit ago for it?
I don't know.
What'd they say?
That. Did they say Bay? They didn't say Bayside.
They did.
Did they say Bayside? That
Mhm.
Bayside is gone.
Hmm.
Which means
Hell.
I didn't put two and two together then. Which means that what happened to Sunder must have happened at Bayside.
So
That's two pieces of the succinct column.
I believe the camel should be fine. I'm not sure about the horses. So.
Which was Bayside where I was needing to go? Yeah, it was. Hopewell Harbor. Ha! I don't know.
So yeah, we should go head over there and see if they're still alive or still kicking. I'm sure they'll be extremely. Camels might not be mad, but I'm sure the horses will be extremely mad at us.
Camels will probably be pretty touchy, if they're alive.
They should last. A standard camel should be, because we feed them with all the water. I'd say at least 5 days.
Didn't we leave them tied up beside water?
Yes.
We did not.
You left them tied
yeah.
up. You left them tied up like 50 feet away from water. Like they
I thought we tied them up right there whenever we killed those.
Wait,
You did.
No, we
You-
did
you,
not.
you tied them up just off the trail, but the water was like just a short distance away as well, so they could see the water this whole time.
Oh. Yeah, they broke
Yeah.
loose.
We'll take a look. Maybe the kobolds ate them. Who knows?
Gosh,
Dustin,
I
let's,
almost would prefer that at this point.
Let's go take a look, boys.
Dustin, I'll have to take my sabbatical here in a few minutes, but
Okay.
it shouldn't be for too long.
Sounds good. So we know when, and we'll break then for a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
I do gotta pee real quick. I will be right back.
Cool.
I'm gonna go pee in the corner real quick. You guys can make sure your animals are okay.
Okay, we'll go check on our animals.
So you guys are currently on the top of the cliff, like the mouth of the cave. What are you doing, and who's going where, and how?
We'll wait.
Let's get down. How far down is it?
100 feet.
Yay.
Doesn't what's his name? The bard, doesn't he have free fall? The spell.
DM, does Jeremiel have free fall?
I'm checking.
Can I just, I mean,
or feather fall.
since I theoretically don't have to throw it, can I just drop a dagger off the cliff and then teleport to the bottom?
Oh, you have the feature now, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Been one way to find out, but no, he does not have featherfall.
Let's do it.
Dude, Vorik has become a leaf ninja. What is happening?
So your daggers have a range of 120.
will...
You toss your dagger just generally at the ground, and you wait there with your hand extended, just waiting for a second, waiting. You're like, guys, I don't think, and then you instantly you instantly appear at the bottom of the cliff.
Hey!
I'm gonna grab-
Telepathically, it worked.
I'm gonna grab the rest of the group and I'm gonna create an arcane gate and just have us walk through it to where we walked off the path. Pink.
Oh wait, Baguette, where are
She won't be-
you?
Baguette can walk through it too.
So you're casting Arcane Gate.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I rolled 11 plus 5. Yep, 16.
Okay. So, let's see. 10 feet, 500 portal to be. Yeah, there's no limit to anything other than the time and the size. Yeah, easily you cast Arcane Gate and create a portal easily 100 feet down and a couple feet over, however long you want to go. It ranges 500, easy done for you.
Yep. I'm just gonna create it at like the cliffside to scare the people. Like, yep, you just gotta walk through that and you should be able to get there instantly. And then I'll go through it first, and then I'll end up over like at the cutting path where we ended up starting.
There's no color or like any sort of illusionary artistic work to it. The portal is like a shimmering edge that's like a bluish purple color, but the meat of the portal and the main portion of it is the other side. Like as you walk through it, you can see the dirt you're stepping onto as you go through.
Alright, come on, Jermaine. Come on board.
Board, do you have any problems
All right,
with the
let's
portal?
go. No, if I can see the dirt on the other side, I was thinking about if I would have problems. If I can see the dirt on the other side, I have no issue.
Okay. Well, Pell, Ugbor, Flint, and Jeremy all follow Munson into the portal to the other side where you are now off of the cliff, and the portal closes.
Whee!
I figured Flint would either fly or fly through the portal with his freckles.
Well, I was making assumptions. What does Flint do?
No, that I ride Freckles through.
Okay.
I just imagine Flint as like a centaur, but griffin.
A mini
instead.
mini tar.
Little griffin gnome tar.
Okay.
Flint, is that all you do? You don't do like the loop-de-loop? You don't like fly a barrel roll?
Alcohol.
No.
Comment for your moment.
Okay, so you guys now have teleport to the bottom of the cliff. Vorik is ways closer to the mountain than you are. Vorik thought he was all snappy, throwing his dagger down there and teleporting. And he's like, I'm down. And then you guys are gone. You're behind him like 50 feet.
Hey.
What's up, buddy? We're here.
Hey, we're all here.
Hey.
Right, let's go.
Hey.
See how they are doing.
Hey.
Going over to the spot, past the rock where the ambush was laid for you the first time with the two kobolds that began the dragon attack. Just past that, off to the left this time, is where you tied off your animals. And you look over to the fallen, decayed tree stump that's almost petrified against some rocks where you tied up your animals. And you see that there are 4 pieces of rope that have been broken.
So you're telling me they're free?
You don't know. But
They got dodge.
the
Does
animals
it
are
look
not
like
there.
it's snapped off, or does it look like it's been bitten off, or does it look like it's been clean cut?
Would you like to investigate?
Of course.
Go for it.
Let's see, what is my investigation?
Probably super high.
That's okay. That'll be a 26.
Okay, 26. Looking over the ropes, you believe that they were broken. Like the animals, eventually, after maybe a couple days, pulled against them hard enough and desperate enough that the rope sheared from being in the sun for so long.
It look like they're in the watering hole.
You look over to the watering hole, and there's nothing over there.
Okay, so who's up for teleportation risks?
I can do it.
This is gonna be a very long travel without those creatures that or you were so worried about, and I was so busy trying to organize things that we spaced that we had creatures that we should have taken care of.
This will be a very
Yeah,
long journey,
yeah,
and the longer, the more margin of error there is.
No, that's fine. Worst was that can happen. Exactly. That's what I said.
Yeah. Flint, you think Freckles can have room for two?
We can give it a try. It worked with Vorik, but you know, he's Vorik.
Yeah, he is work.
It's a very lot for it.
I just don't want to fall.
I don't want you to fall, but hop on. We'll see.
Oh, okay.
Freckles, let's take it nice and easy, girl.
Let's see.
All right, Munson, give it your best.
Give me a second. Let's see. Wait, what am I getting my best out of port? Did Ugbar agree to this? Because I know he's afraid of water, so anything's possible.
Yeah, I am prepared.
Okay. You have your floaties on?
I'm going to attempt to ride on Freckles.
Okay. Mr. DM, I would attempt, but looking at maps, circles, and so forth, that I would try to aim anywhere along the border or line of where I believe this would be.
Oh, you're going straight there,
Oh,
huh?
but I'm not telling you.
Okay.
Huh? You're not coming. You're not. You.
See, this has no location, so that would be hard to
Oh.
do. At least that has a name. This has a name. That might be better odds.
Okay.
We
So
could work
you're
our way.
go.
We could work our way backwards. See,
So
we
you're
start
gonna
here
te-
and then
so you're gonna teleport us on the other side of the continent. Oh no.
Okay.
This is a
a good idea.
Wild.
I know.
wild.
Oh, I don't have any luck or anyone want to give me their what's that word I'm thinking of here?
Inspiration.
Inspiration, just in case I need to reroll.
Hey, here's the thing. You didn't tell us you were gonna do this. We think you're going to the middle, so
Well,
Even
exactly.
if
I
we-
need inspiration to teleport. That's all.
You
all I
can't inspiration the teleport because it's not a D20.
Oh, there's 20 in here somewhere. They're 2d10s.
You're-
That's 20.
You're rolling with the wind on this, my friend.
All right, buddy,
No,
let's do it.
no
Fuck it.
inspiration, no
What's the worst
guidance,
that can
nothing.
We go to the frozen tides.
Okay.
All right. You want to text me a percentile, or you just want me to roll and give you numbers?
Roll and give me a number.
41.
41. Okay.
Did it for shiggles, and I got another 5.
So let me see what this is here. Okay.
we're just gonna be inside of a mountain. We just instantly
And I
suffocate
rolled
and are
a-
crushed simultaneously.
16 plus 5, so that'll be high enough to cast the spell requirement level. So, the teleportation spell will not fail where I end. Who knows?
Okay.
And now I have one charge left in my book for the day.
Okay, so here's what happens.
Oh
Munson, as you cast the teleport spell, the magic you it's not magic you know, but you have the text here. You try your best to reach above your skill level in the arcane using nothing but instructions, like reading a recipe for the first time and going just full hog, step by step, hoping you have all the ingredients as you go. And you cast the spell. As you do, all six of you are going to feel yourselves lift off the ground and get jetted in a direction very forcefully. You're going to feel yourself, as your bodies and essences travel across this plane of existence. You're going to feel yourselves slam into Earth and then get jettisoned back, and you're all going to take, let's see, 12 points of force damage.
Oh shit.
And as you recoil and get shot back to where you are, you guys are going to come to a stop, skidding across the grounds, taking, we'll say, another 8 points of force damage as you grind across the dirt, hitting limbs, shrubs, trees, and you find yourself in thick woods. And at this time, it's getting towards nighttime.
Mhm.
So this, where am I at here? Let's do something like this. We'll go for that. You find yourself in thick woods at basically nighttime.
Sorry, I have
Question.
good dark vision, so it's nice.
Did that happen to Spaghetti and Freckles?
That happened to everybody that he tried to teleport.
Spaghetti is knocked out.
Okay. The spaghetti is knocked out. How much health does Freckles have?
She had full health. I don't know how much HP a griffin has.
59.
59.
59.
So both bird beasts squawk painfully, and as you come to, your party is all like prone. You're all laying across the ground as you were like shot out of a cannon and skidded, tumbled across the ground, and you're laying in grass and dirt and bushes and vines and leaves and broken tree limbs. And as you begin to rise and cough and get your bearings about yourself, Spaghetti does not get up, and Freckles looks a little injured.
Spaghetti! Roll.
Oh, that hurts so bad.
There.
Okay. Spaghetti coughs and squawks and shakes her head a little bit. She wants to shake her head more, but she's too weak to actually give a full dog shake. And she barely, slowly becomes aware of her surroundings and starts to stand up.
So
I have enough health because I've been sitting around. I will do my life transference on the griffin.
Okay.
Was that 48? So let's see. There's 1, there's 2, 3, and 4. 17. So she gets 34 health, and I take 17 damage.
comes over
Okay.
and gets you.
The griffin looks much perkier than she was a minute ago, although still very upset and very confused.
I'm sorry. I may have overshot my my load there, guys.
Boy spits up a tooth. Some magic you got there.
It's still a practice,
And
I
what
mean,
you-
when isn't magic practice? I mean,
It is a learning thing.
it is definitely a learning thing. You okay over there, Flint?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
How's your device coming along, by the way?
I don't know.
Okay. I like the answer. Do I see anything around us with my 120 feet of dark vision? So look around real quick as I stand and after I heal the bird.
Looking around, you don't see anything important. You see a lot of forests, a lot of plants, no animals. You don't hear anything immediate. Then again, you just crash into wherever you are.
Exactly, I have no idea where I'm
But you don't see anything of landmark around.
I'm not worried about landmark. I'm more worried about creatures,
No.
anybody staring at us,
Nope.
anything in the ethereal plane by chance.
Nope, nothing that you can see, nothing that stands out as important to you.
I would say let's create a. I mean, we're in the forest now, so we could create a controlled burn and potentially get some sleep tonight and start again tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired.
Who was it that could cast the tiki hut thing? Do
Me.
I remember? Was that you?
Yep.
I would say tonight maybe put those who may want to go in there with maybe put the birds in there because I don't know exactly where we're at.
It is not big enough for that.
For birds?
Yeah.
Nah, I guess
Oh.
not. Birds are quite large.
Yeah.
Never mind then. I mean, I would rather be out with the birds than leave them alone.
Yeah. Spaghetti's had a rough day.
I would like to before we sleep. No, we ate in the morning.
Ugbor gathers stuff to make a fire.
Yeah.
Okay. Not hard to do in this environment at all. It takes you some time to gather enough limbs that are big enough, and you do so cautiously as you look around at the forest, having no idea where literally in the world you are right now. But you gather enough wood to make a fire and come back to base where your troop is centered around.
I have a question.
Mhm.
What would the temperature differential feel like from where we were to here?
It is much cooler here, starkly, matter of fact. It's not see your breath cold, but it's like jumping from 80 degrees outside to a 70-degree pool.
Quite shocking.
Before we officially make camp or anything, Flint, why don't me and you just fly above us real quick, see if we can get a bearing for where we are.
Good idea.
I'll put my owl with you guys, and she can go with you.
Alright.
While they're doing that, Ugbor starts collecting rocks to make a fire shield.
And Jeremiah will help you, right, Ugbor? And tell
Absolutely.
you all about the secrets of success.
Here's what you gotta do.
How do I go to Bard College?
So, Flint
Is there
and
like
Mhm.
student aid?
Flint and Pell make their way into the sky with the help of Spaghetti and Freckles. It takes some time to get them calmed down and adjusted enough that they, let you on their back. But as soon as they do, they take off, and they still abide by your command, but they are anxious to stretch a little bit and see and feel a little bit more safe, and they are much more safe in their minds in the air right now than on the ground where they don't know where they are. And as you guys take to the air, you rise up above the canopy and look around. And it's hard to see in the dark, even though it's just getting towards this time of day, but there is nothing out here. There is a vast expanse of nothing but forest in every direction for miles. Spots of clearing here and there. What seems to be the beginnings of mountains on the horizon. You're unsure of what the range on that is, or how far out they are, or what even that is. But there's nothing but forest all around you for miles.
You see that, Flint? Nothing but forests
For miles,
and miles.
It
all
honestly,
around us.
it honestly feels a little unnerving. It's like similar to being out in open ocean at night. you are in vast darkness that is just getting darker and darker.
I don't know which way we should go. Let's just
Probably
go
down.
Well, yeah, but more in the woods. But let's go down.
No idea. Probably east, yeah?
I thought you said east. And then I go down.
Pell, make me a survival check to see if you can find where your friends are, where you left from.
Okay. Guidance. And I don't know about using a new set of dice I just got. Ah, fucking crit.
Okay, so 20 plus 2 is 22?
No, I have a +4, so 26.
26. Okay. You have your bearings enough, even still, that to glide yourself down to the ground, and Flint just takes after you being first, and just follows your lead. And you don't see any of your friends at all. Even if there was a fire lit, there's a thick canopy. But you do know what trees you leapt out of, and you touch down probably about 10 feet away from where the center of your group is, but you find your way back into friendly territory at least.
But now, Ugbor, that's 2 crits with real dice. How's it make you feel?
Boom.
Infuriated.
His one eye enrages. It's now red eye.
Oh, guys, there's nothing but forest out here.
My calculations might have been off. We'll figure it out in the morning. I'm not gonna try to guess anything tonight. I would say protect ourselves. I'll load up my hound, get a fire going, and prepare ourselves for a nice rest, if we can.
Not hearing any complaints, we will say that you start the fire and make camp as best you can with the materials that you have, and settle in for what you hope to be a night's rest. Are you guys going to take any kind of watches while you do
I think
this?
we should tonight.
I got my standard hound diggity, so that's my watch for me, around me.
So, girl, with your new fancy one eye, how about you keep the first watch?
You know what?
Go ahead.
You know what? I was just gonna say that sounds like a good idea.
Wake me up after that.
I'll
I'll
take the
ta-
second watch.
I can technically do all of them after power nap.
Was it 4 hours?
Yes.
I would say I could join you, for the first watch if she wants to watch the rest.
That's fine.
You guys are discussing how to take watches and who's going to be on what watch. And as you do, we'll say Flint and Ugbor. I'll have you both roll perception.
I don't remember any pirate stuff, do I?
You do not.
Okay.
Before we go to bed, we're gonna do a little prayer together, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Flint, you're welcome since you've seen her lot. Oh no.
Flint and Ugbor, are you rolling perceptions?
We're just.
Oh, my thing didn't scroll down. I didn't see. Okay, there we go. God, I don't know why it didn't scroll down when you guys did new stuff.
No, it Roll20 seemed to be glitchy all week. I don't know.
Yeah,
which
it
one
did that
else
to me a little bit ago.
Okay. Flint, you were the first to notice as everybody's talking about, Vorik can just take the first two watches sleeping, and then they can take the rest, no problem. And we're talking about who can sleep and who needs to sleep the most, and back and forth. As they're bantering, you're standing there thinking about your current projects and how to do what you need to do to complete what you're doing. And you look up to your friends talking and notice that their faces are beginning to turn red. you realize that everything around you is shifting red. You remember what Munson said, that it's been 3 days that you guys were gone in the void. And you look up, and there's a red moon in the sky.
What does it mean?
It's like a bad moon to me.
Do we notice it?
Flint,
We're bantering while they notice.
yeah,
I would
Flint just says it looks
I
like a bad moon, is what you just heard.
assume my banter quickly stops.
You could be justified in doing so.
Bort,
And
you gotta fight it, Bort.
I'm gonna go into the normal uncontrollable and just glance up. It's like I'm in a trance again, but looking up.
No, nothing happens to you.
I'm-
her name, Bort.
So I can find,
Show
like,
you.
I'm looking at it right now.
You don't feel a need to look up. Do you look up?
Yeah.
You,
I mean, it's red. It's red. I'm gonna look.
you avert your gaze up at the sky, and your eyes meet the Malar moon, a small circle off to the bottom right corner in front of the saloon gray moon behind it. You notice that its surface is actually dotted with many imperfections. It looks, if it was something more non-celestial, something more real to you, it looks something similar to like the physical state of your flesh, that it's marred and scarred and imperfect, but nothing happens to you.
I'll like come over, and like in my head, Vork's just like looking up, and I'll just take his head and just push it down, get him to look at me. You're with me here, but don't look up.
It'd be
Alright.
kind of interesting what he would look like if we fully let him adapt. I'm just saying.
I already looked, and nothing happened.
Say her name, phrase it.
Imagine Pale just. Oh God.
Say it.
We're on one of those churches.
Be healed.
I,
the demon out of you.
do I feel anything being under this moon right now?
You don't feel a thing. You don't feel dangerous. You don't feel hurt. You don't feel compelled in any way.
When Pale is sitting here and telling me to say it, I want to yell Malar, though.
You s-
But not for that reason. I know Pale's gonna freak out, but I want to be like, Malar,
you say the name.
you have no hold on me anymore.
The only thing you hear is a very faint female chuckle, almost imperceptible.
Cast thee out. We reject thee.
I just want to say I found another, and she does not.
And the chuckle Pell you hear as well, as he says this.
I want to say I found another, and she does not manipulate, use me the way you have attempted to.
All right, Bort, grab my hand. Say what I say.
I grab Pale's hand.
Let all on whom my lot falls be welcome, if they desire to be so. As the silver moon waxes and wanes, so too does all life. Trust in my radiance, and know that all love alive under my lot shall know my blessing. Turn to the moon, and I will be your true God.
say that.
That seems like a lot of work. I'll pass.
What he said.
Okay.
They like go into like a weird fucking chant together.
Ditto.
The crimson aura of the environment begins to fade and pale, and eventually the Molar moon goes incredibly dim, almost black, eclipsing Saloon, but no longer red.
Yeah, fuck off.
Akbar, I have an idea.
What is your idea?
So, it's gonna.
No, I'm out.
It should be far enough. Hey, you've already accepted this plan. So, as soon as everyone kind of gets down, starts going to bed, what I could do is I can activate some dancing lights, put it about 120 or as far out as we can see it, without being too dense. And then what I can do is, as a slow rotation for our 4 hours of watch, I can slowly rotate it as if it's like a lighthouse, and kind of give us visual around us for the whole time.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And before we lay down, I'm gonna go to work and be like, you know, that was her gift first. Lycanthropy. Maybe you can ask her and she can like help you do that if you wanna really keep doing it. But I mean, if you go insane, I will smite you with the moon.
How do I ask? I feel like I've asked for her so much.
As long as you're asking, she doesn't care.
So as long as you become a beggar, then you'll be a chooser.
Within reason, you have to, you know, you ask, and then she tells you to do something, and you do that in return, and then you can ask again, and it's like favors.
Sounds like a job.
Yeah, sounds like
Yeah.
favoritism to me. I don't know about that.
Hey, they work in weird ways. Look it up for.
Jeremiel
I like-
pops some food in his mouth. Says, "Sounds like capitalism."
Yes,
Uh,
I like it.
Yeah, we're socialists here.
I'm unknown. I don't know.
Okay, so what are you guys doing?
Yeah,
Me and Akbar, I believe, are gonna do the first watch together. And I was gonna do the dancing lights and circles while the hound stays by my side.
Okay.
Well, if you guys do that one, me and Flint can pick the next one.
Well, Vork, so was it Vork that said he could watch the second one because he only needed 4 hours of sleep? He was
I
good.
can. So I can literally watch that whole entire time after.
The
Yeah.
watch is usually like 2 hours.
They're 4 hours, 2 to 4, depending on the DM.
I've been using 2 hours.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, then I will shall trance and then do the last watches then.
So
Hey,
you want me
if-
to wake you up, Hell? You and Flint?
Yeah, you guys.
2 hours?
Yeah. So that way you guys still get some rest too.
Well, hell yeah, I need my sleep. You know what happens if I don't sleep? Oof.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm
first
very
two
scared
is
to wake you up.
Ugbor and Munson. Next two is Pell and Flint. And the last 4 hours is Vorik. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Well, as Ugbor and Munson begin their watch, we're going to take a short little break. So I'm going to go to the restroom and grab some coffee. And then we'll come back and deal with that.
So 5 minutes. Check.
Well, we's back now. Ugbor and Munson are taking first watch, so I'll have both of you roll perception for me as the rest of your companions sleep under the canopy of this forest. Okay. The watch is very unnerving, not because anything is particularly disturbing this night, but because of the sudden shift in environment. It's psychologically a little bit dampening on your perceptive abilities, and you begin to get suspicious of everything that moves, especially in the dark and all the trees in this tight clustered area. It's just a little unsettling, but you don't see or notice anything that's too out of sorts. Until Munson, you notice first that your friends Flint, Jeremiel, and Vorik are all starting to twitch in their sleep. Vorik, sitting up in his trance, begins to just shift and convulse slightly, and the others twitch like they're dreaming. Bor, you notice this right after Munson does. Do you guys do anything?
Think we should wake them up?
Let's observe him for a couple more minutes and see if anything comes out of it. Because, you know, it could just be a good dream. I don't know about Fork, though. I don't know if he can dream.
Flint.
Yes.
You don't dream very often. What you do is easily dismiss.
Because I'm a dad.
Yeah. It's what you see here, though, is vivid to you. You come into consciousness in your unconsciousness and see from almost like a top-down view of the area, your vision panning as everything goes along. Your vision is constricted to a certain range, a bubble that you can't see out of, like tunnel vision, as you watch, like you're looking through a spyglass at the situation. But you see your family being taken away from your home in Fiola. You see plainclothes elves that Lyseri promised, the contingent, escorting them through the night city of Fiola. You see hanging baskets of flowers dimmed gray with the night. The brick-laid streets are normally colorful during the day and festive almost. The houses that are painted in bright, happy colors are all dimmed by both darkness and this perspective vision on it. The only thing you can make out that's not obscured are the faces of your wife and child. The little one's getting bigger, more than you realize, almost 2 feet tall now. The last thing you see before the dream fades away into your unconsciousness, leaving you in the dark and sleep, is the face of your wife, briefly morphing into that of a pale-skinned fae, and then darkness takes your vision. Vorik. Ships. Sailing. A dark wood box. Giant crustaceans grabbing at you with claws impossibly big for their size, incapacitating you. Your friends fight with you. Others you don't know. A feline female stabs through the throat of one. Sailors die. You live. Further back, you see the face of a rat who becomes a man. His bandana is covering most of his head and cloth and arms. A friend. You feel comfort. The vision shifts. It reappears. Visions of a hag, cloaked in darkness and spikes and jagged, unnatural shapes. In a cave, lightning. Fear, death, but not for you. The visage of death, through these visions, waits in the wings, but cannot touch you. A mirror on a table, black candles surrounding it. It's shattered by a small person you can't really make out, obscured. One shard you pick up and keep. You look at the shard. It's Celian Lysatra. The shard is dropped into the bag by Pale. You wake up, your face bleeding thick black blood from your nose as you come out of your trance.
What are the others doing?
As you come to, you see Ugbor and Munson looking at you. If you look around, you would see, with your passive perception, I'll say, you would notice that Flint is twitching a little bit in his sleep, but not overly moving. Jeremiel is also twitching.
I'm just.
Where's Pale?
He's resting happily. Nothing.
I want to go run over to Pale's bag and get the glass shard out.
You go over to Pale. Munson, Ugbor, do you guys do anything as you see this?
I'm not even paying attention to Munson or Ugbor.
I'm observing like I plan on, like a scientist, you know?
Ugbor?
I have like my documents out. Check. You woke up first. Check.
You see Vorik convulse, congealed blood start to trickle down out of his nose thick. He wakes up, looks around, looks at Pale, goes and starts walking over to Pale, and then grabs for his bag. Are you doing anything, Ugbor? If you're talking, we cannot hear you. So I'll take that as a no.
Sorry, I was
Without
muted.
flicker.
No problem. I figured as much. So what's up?
I get in front of him. Well, I don't do that actually, but I start to approach him, and I say, "What you doing there, buddy?"
I'm not paying any mind to him. Just rummaging through trying to find that shard.
Okay, you see him grab the bag, open it up, and just start digging through, moving items around.
Ugbor doesn't do anything really at first. He kind of moves around to see, I guess, better into the bag, see what he's doing.
No, just wake me up.
Well, I'll say with your passive perception, even while you're asleep, yeah, it would probably rouse you. He's not being careful.
Hey, what are you doing, buddy?
Am I still bleeding like black out of everything?
Just a small trickle of thick blood, which has basically stopped at this time. Right after Pell asks you a question, your hand touches glass.
I pull it out.
As you pull it out, the moment you pull it out from your bag, you hear a and the glass shines over, and immediately you see the face of Salien Lyasatra with her hands folded under her chin, looking at you. Hello, dear.
Is the candle? Can I grab the candle out of my stuff while that's happening?
The candle out of your bag?
Yeah.
Yeah, you if you choose to.
Yeah, I figured grab all of it. That was Munson we lost, by the way.
Okay, you reach into your bag and you open it, and the candles are all lit inside your bag.
I want to pull them out.
Okay, they're all a little stuck to each other, like they're tacked to each other. You could break them apart, and it's not like magically bound or anything, but they are all together and lit.
I want to grab the mirror.
I have the mirror, sir.
I'm going to try to grab it.
Okay, are you guys going to contest over this?
Yeah.
I want to pull it away before he can grab it.
No.
Yes.
I'm going to say,
I mean,
Vilric, with your grabbing at other items, and she said something, you wouldn't have the reaction time, even though you are very quick as you are. This would immediately be, Pell's quickness would catch up to you, and this would be a contest of you guys holding both of you holding the mirror, as Salien watches.
What are we contesting here?
This will be an athletics check. And as you guys do this check, you hear her say, Now, boys, no need to fight over me just yet.
I'll lock you.
Phil, what's your athletics check?
What I can do it on here.
16. Pell pulls the glass from your hand. It cuts your hand, and that's going to do 3 damage to you, slashing damage, rather.
I don't know if this will like do anything, but can I cast inflict wounds at 5th level on the mirror and like try to break it?
Okay. You cast the spell on the mirror, and the mirror seems to absorb the necrotic energy and just it disappears behind the mirror. Oh, dear, why would you do something like that? Don't you want to talk?
No, I don't like talking.
You have a nice new toy, it looks like. I would love to see it.
Help! I don't know what to do with this.
I want to talk to her. I just want to be like, what do you want?
I've always ever wanted one thing, and that is... I guess you could call it communication. I want to talk. I want to know you. I want to be a little more connected to the mortals that are presented before me.
Why?
You suck. Go away.
Some worship me in the work that I do, and I feel it only natural to get to know those who want to know me. Don't you want to know me?
No, you're stinky.
Why would I want to know you?
Am I not something worthy of worship?
What have you done for any of us?
I could help you. If you so
With?
desired. What do you need help with?
What do you want to help with?
You seem to be in the mix with your elf friends, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Which elf friends?
The ones of Rowanwood, of course. The ones that know me best. I could help them if they weren't so focused on other efforts. Especially the pretty little wolf friend that you have. She would be the most valuable. I'm sure you know. You've seen her potential.
What about them? What do you want?
She's going to move her hands slightly as she talks. I simply need to know more about them so that I may contact them. Where are they? Who are they? What do you know of them? And she is going to try to charm you, but as something wafts past you, you find that it has no effect. Matter of fact, in your mind, you have visions briefly just puff into and out of existence through your mind of Osarian Torin, and feel this would be a betrayal of them. Like you are loyal to them, and talking about their secrets, their identities, feels strange and off.
Be like, enough of this, and I'm gonna try to like puck it up in the air and fucking cast a 4th level guiding bolt at it.
You take it and throw it up in the air like a discus. Yeah, after you throw it, you cast guiding bolt at it, and the bolt hits it, and then it falls and stabs into the ground, facing away from you.
damn lady in the mirror. I'm not talking to her.
Haven't met the lady in the middle.
That wasn't very nice. We were having a conversation.
Oh, wait.
Who is it, Phil?
I can't even remember her name. Some blah, 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 blah.
Do we know who
She's
she
stinky.
is?
My name is
Archfey.
Salien Lyasatra, dear.
Oh, we can hear me. Interesting.
Archfey of the Unseelie. At your service.
Now, what is your values?
Beg pardon, speak up. I can't quite hear you.
Oh, I think I'm okay. What is your core value? What is your desire? What is your purpose?
What do you know of the Unseelie?
Not a clue.
The Unseelie is a foil of the Seelie courts, the two main fairy courts. Opposed, with Seelie represents the summer and life and greenery and all things blah 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 blah. The Unseelie represents the opposite, the cold, the dark, the change. Together we represent the cycle that we put the material plane through in order to continue life. One just as important as the other.
So, are you a spiritual creature as of right now, or are you able to get out of the mirror?
Oh, I can do whatever I please.
Well, then prove it.
This mirror is but a conduit, dear. I am not bound by anything. Simply a device used to quickly communicate. Since you
Well,
reached out to
this-
me before, I assumed that you had something you wished to tell me or talk about. And last I checked, you guys were in contact with a lot of the elves that I deem so dear to me. Think of it
Oh,
as what you would know as a sending stone. I cannot simply
Yeah.
come through it.
So you're mirror stone.
Sure.
So we can visually see, or you can visually see us, but you're seeing us from another plane of
Th-
existence.
This is correct.
Now, which plane are you on?
Dear, you're not too bright, are you? I
I'm
told
just
you
trying-
that
You told them, not me. I've never met you before.
I am a member of the Unseelie Court. We are in the Feywild.
Feywild. Interesting. So, let's see. I could planar shift myself to you.
Who has the shard?
It's in the ground right now. So no one's actually holding it this last day, so.
Okay.
Let's see. Feywild. Maybe one day I'll come visit. Sounds like an interesting place.
So whenever Munson told me earlier what that bow could do, correct?
Say what now?
Yeah. I technically would have identified it, and the DM would have been able. But yeah, it tells you.
I mean, I got it right here, but I was just saying, like, so.
Yeah, I described you exactly the way that he said it and the way it's spelled out. As he identified it to me, that's how I'd explain it to you.
Is it still on me?
Is what's still on you?
The
Fey
bow.
Bane.
The bow? Yes, it is still on you.
I want to pull it off and shoot an arrow at it. That's a shard.
Okay. You take the bow out, and she's mid-sentence talking to Munson. Are you sure you don't wish to work together? I could, and as soon as that word leaves her mouth, the arrow flies through the glass, shattering it.
She seemed like an interesting person.
Oh, with the candles.
Instantly extinguished.
The Feywild, eh?
I actually didn't think that would work.
Well, it's obviously magical spells not gonna do nothing, so why not something physical?
Well, I remember you telling me This would do more damage to Faye.
This is true, yeah. Just do quite a bit of magic damage.
Um,
At this time, Flint, you awake violently from your dream.
Sassafras! What? Hello?
Good morning. It's only been a few hours. How you doing there, Flint?
As this happens, you guys were talking and doing
Welcome back to the
things,
world of the living.
and there was obviously a lot of important things going on in your mind, in your perspective. But as this was happening, Jeremiel is still asleep. And Jeremiel, as you sleep and meditate, you weave your mind through the space around you, clearing your thoughts as you lay yourself down to rest, and you feel drawn into the ethereal. So instead of rest, you shift your mind into meditation. The sounds of the forest slowly blend and give way to distant shouts, cries from voices of varying sources, men, women, young, old, but all outraged, hurt, calling out for aid and justice, muffled though they may be, by what effect you know not. Their cries are almost disjointed, and as though coming through a great distance, perhaps even across the plains and the fabric of time itself. You hear the air, the air. She left it for the air, our clever fox. The queen who never was. The air's last resort when all seemed lost. She sent it for the air. And the voices fade away. Pell, in Saloon's gentle voice, unbeknownst to you, echoing the spirits haunting Jeremiel's sleep, also the air. They need the air. Then the forest goes quiet. And Jeremiel's twitching stops and he falls deep asleep.
Vorik draws an arrow. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that was an interesting little spit. So, Vorik, what was up with the quick run over light candle bringing mirror thing alive? Why did you decide to do that?
It was something in my dream, but it felt like I'd done it before.
In your dream, did you shoot the same bow with this mirror?
No, the bow didn't exist. The dream, it was like deja vu.
So maybe we're in the memory tree forest and we just don't know it. Right? Right.
It was before. It was way before.
Yeah, but if we were in, let's say, the memory tree, I'm just winging it out there. If we were in the memory tree, it would be a memory, right? So therefore, it could have been whenever in your life, as long as it's a memory in which you would have had happened once before. Yeah.
Eventually, but I mean, I don't remember. It was before I died. I was something else. I wasn't
You were definitely something else.
normal still.
Oh, sounds like I'm gonna have a terrible night's sleep if this is what's happening to everyone here.
Yeah, that's pretty awful.
Yeah,
Not like that.
I'm not looking forward to it myself.
I recommend I'll go sleep in a corner by myself.
Yeah, Warwick, I love you, but please don't go through my stuff. It's very rude.
That was technically mine.
That's true, but it's in my bag. I have very valuable things. And nudie magazines in there.
It's nudes.
for bold, they're all males. I like I like how it blows in the air with the leaf slowly touching each particle.
Got some very private things in there. I would just appreciate if just you know just be like, hey, can I see the mirror? And I'll be like, here you go.
It was
Phalo.
instinctful.
The Fey lotion comes out.
I assume if it was the memory, I'm thinking of how far back it was. I was a hex blood then. If we're going back that far.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I was all kinds of fucked up then. I made now look normal.
You really were pretty gross.
Yeah, definitely now looks dead. Vorik looks more alive than that Vorik.
Interesting. So Flint, how are you? How was your dream?
I dreamt that. Well, you remember the scary lady in the mirror? She was my baby mama.
Awful.
Hmm.
Truly awful.
Flint,
Oh, the humanity.
the face, the face,
It wasn't even a human.
the face that you saw shifted from your wife's expression looked very similar to those that you killed in Cliffcraig in the house.
Never mind. That's not what I saw at all.
So you saw something but didn't see something?
No. It was actually not. I had oh. Yes, it seems my wife I dreamt that my wife was one of the changelings.
That's quite
Hmm.
interesting. One of the changelings
Oh,
that
that's
looked
not
like
good, buddy.
one of the changelings that we saw
I
back
know.
back then looked like my parents.
Yeah, luckily I think my dad's dead already.
Mine should have been dead. I don't know. Like they might have been able to get out of Sunder, but I don't know.
I don't know where all mine are.
Statistically, I would say. Well, you know where your
Your dad's going to Steve.
potential dad? Yeah.
Well, I know where my dad is, but he said he couldn't find my mom.
Oh. Well.
Isn't that where your
I'm ready. I'm ready for bed. So if you Pale Flint, if you guys got this covered, I need some sleep.
Yeah, with all that, the first
Yeah.
watch is over.
I'm trying to trance back again.
As you do your watch, just make sure I'm still visible. Just saying.
I'm gonna trance back again and say, "Saloon, may I get rest?" Before I zone out.
Okay. So who is staying up right now?
me and Flanneroni?
Flanneroni and Pell. So I'll have both of you roll perception, please, for your watch.
I'll do the damn thing.
Okay.
And this is what I look like right now. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually saying honk shoe.
You guys notice the same thing that the others did in the darkness. It's an unsettling wood for you. You've been in the woods before. You've traveled the certain aspects of the right side of the continent. But something here is just off for you. There's no animals, there's no sounds that bother you. You hear little more than birds and rustling wind. It smells like fresh peat. In any other circumstance, it's a cool night, but otherwise very comforting. At least it should be, but it's not. You look around at your friends, waiting for something else to happen, but nothing does until you notice Munson roll over in his sleep and his eyes are wide open, but totally whited over. Do you guys do anything?
Flint, do you see that?
I think so. She's naked, right?
What? No, do you see Munson? Look at his eyes.
Munson, you know the difference between dreams and the visions that you've been given to this point. They have a different feel, a different flavor about them. Even though it's been some time, you recognize that flavor now. You see the foot of a throne that flows seamlessly from or into a tree, seeming to be a smaller version of the giant willow from your earlier vision. Its seat is worn and smooth as driftwood. This is the main focus of what you can see, but in the background, off to the side, you see a cloaked and shadowed figure just pacing nearby, muttering angrily to the empty room, clearly in conflict with himself or itself. It's hard to tell. But he bears a large, seemingly bony, inhuman structures atop its head. As he staggers around the inside of an elegant but crumbling and overgrown chamber. Although it seems that nature has always been a part of the room, based on the decor and engravings. Carrying on his argument with himself, he carries a long hand-and-a-half sword on his hip with a purple gem in the hilt. And it's elegant and strong in appearance, and in one hand he holds a staff, similar make to the throne that's in your foreground. He's using it to gesture wildly in conjunction with his mutterings. His frustration continues to visibly build, arguing fiercely with himself over something that cannot be but must be. An argument that he seems to have been waging for a while, until he finally turns back and storms purposefully over to the throne, staff still in hand. He shifts it to be held by both hands, raising it high above his head, and with a manic gleam in the eyes from under his hood, before bringing it down with an anguished shout as it slams against the base of the throne. There's a pause, as if the world itself is holding its breath, before a sound somehow both sonorous and silent ripples out from the point of contact over the wood, vibrating and racing outward from the throne. Your vision likewise races out, leaving the room with the throne to show you an abandoned, crumbling palace, a boggy marsh where snow falls like ash, small frog-like creatures looking up in awe and fear. Your sight rushes further back, spanning back from your starting point over the lands both foreign and familiar to you. The Glitterfire Mountains, the Red Ash River, the Rowanwood Forest, and within the forest near the river, your vision pauses slightly over three figures. A small elven girl with auburn hair playing in the shallows with a huge ruined black direwolf who looks alertly to the north before scooping up his small charge and bringing her to the figure that you know as Lyseri. Her head cocked wolfishly to the side as her eyes track over the direction the pulse came from. Her bow in her hand, where she was seemingly oiling the wood, one carving in the bow glowing in response to the strange sound. It's the same symbol you see in the portrait you have discovered earlier this day. As Lyseri shifts to place herself quickly between her daughter and the unknown, both her and Torin's runes pulsate as they scan the horizon. Your vision does not stop on the trio, though. It continues to race backwards with this pulse of energy, rushing past Rowanwood City, Fiola, every elven or fey creature you see reacting more strongly than the other races to the sound. Some with confusion, some with awe, and some with bewildered joy. Before your vision finally reaches South Sunder, where you see yourself bracing against the strange wave of energy as you watch the group that you have now become friends with. And the vision fades. And your eyes go from white to blinking, and your eyes come back to normal as you're awake when you're back on the ground. Pell and Flint, all you see is Munson, on his back, rolled over, staring up, wide-eyed, for minutes, unblinking, and then he comes to.
You alright?
Yeah. Told you my sleep would suck. I didn't do anything, did I? Anyone hurt?
No. I mean, your eyes widened over, and that was like kind of weird because you didn't blink like for a very long time. Don't know why, but we just stared at you. It was weird.
No.
But hey,
Probably-
you stayed dry.
You're
Yeah.
probably afraid I'd do something. Probably.
Yeah.
Alright, my dog's not barking. You guys are staring at me kind of awkwardly. I'm gonna try to get back to bed.
Sorry. Good night.
Yeah, well, we'll see if what I saw comes true. And then I roll back over and try to go back to bed.
Okay. Sleep finds you easily.
So Flint, do you
Yes.
want this scroll back, or
No,
what is it?
it is. Just a moment.
Is it the scroll I gave you? The scroll of Find Familiar?
Oh, that one. No. Yes, I will use that one eventually.
Okay.
That gives me a familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Here you go. I'll hand it back over to you.
You could technically take the scroll of Find Familiar and spend the time and money, and you can put it into. You have a spell book? Does an artificer
I
have a
sure
spell book?
don't.
How does an
I didn't know
artificer
that
get
was a
spells?
thing.
That's a
I
wizard
think-
thing.
I
don't know if
think they
that's a-
just. I don't know if they get like a select spells that they get to like choose from or like learn at a time.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't really play
Yeah.
artificers.
Yeah, me neither. I want to though.
Artificers are more like a cleric than a wizard. So they can know their spells. They don't. Doesn't
And,
look
like,
like they just
Switch out in
learn them.
between them.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, well, here you go, buddy. I didn't want
That's
to
how
hold on
I've
to it
been
if you
playing it.
wanted. No, man, like I think like bards and sorcerers, like once you pick a spell, like you're stuck with that spell. And I'm very indecisive.
Yeah. See, I'm a wizard, so I can play with everything.
Right. So here you go, Flint.
Thank you.
This has been a very stressful night, so I'm gonna pull out my Gandalf pipe
Okay.
and just. I still have 16 uses of this.
And
That's all I will use for 'em.
tonight is one of them.
Sharing is caring, bro.
Here you go. 14
Yes.
uses.
Artificers are so versatile. You can use any scroll without needing to meet any of the requirements. Interesting.
Like I mentioned,
Sounds like us.
in this world, scrolls can be used by anyone. That's not an issue.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
but
I'm
that is
just-
very cool to know.
Yeah, like I said, I don't play artificers, so it's new shit to me too.
Born, nothing happens visibly with you, but you do have dreams, maybe nightmares, call them, but nothing incredibly unflavored for what you might be used to in commonplace anywhere else in the world. Just general aspects of you fighting Adamek, but falling deeper into his maw and not coming back out. Replaying the event, but this time Adamek is the one who tears your eye from your head, keeping it for his own. Different scenarios that play over and over again in your head about how the battle could have gone, but didn't. Somehow you came out victorious, but these dreams just haunt you a little bit about how you could have came close to failure. It's maybe both terrifying and inspiring at the same time. But visibly, to everybody else, they see you sleeping soundly.
But wore totally hawk shoes.
And
I
eventually,
will.
go ahead.
I will also use. Cure wounds on Freckles.
Okay. Freckles sleeps nearby, still a little hurt. But you cast Cure Wounds on her, and she goes from like almost a slightly pained expression to you see immediate, like an exhale of breath that maybe she didn't realize that she was holding. And you see wounds begin to stitch up a little bit more quickly.
What's the spellcasting ability modifier?
Yours would be intelligence.
Yeah.
Intelligence, okay.
So 1d8 plus that. 11. Not too bad. I know a lot of it's from your modifier, but that's still pretty good cure wounds.
Yeah.
So, the rest of your guys' watch goes as planned. Uneventful. A little creepy. A little trepidatious, but uneventful.
I like to imagine while we're smoking my pipe that we do like the Gandalf and Bilbo thing, where we're just like blowing smoke rings, and I make a boat.
So, at this time, your guys' watch is over.
Alright, I'll go get Vort. Hey, buddy.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Or you wake
Sure
up.
will.
You wake up from your trance and feel a little like it was not a very restful trance for you, but you do still gain the benefits of a long rest. And you are beckoned up by your friends to take your watch for 4 more hours.
Oh. We'll stand up and get the popping and cracking going, and bones breaking, and going back where they're supposed to be, and fun stuff.
Far more literal sense.
Yes.
If you just act more alive, then your body will react in kind.
So your friends all rest before you. For now.
Power of positive thinking over death.
So I'll have you roll a perception check for me. Your friends sleep soundly for the first 3 hours of your shift. But just before the sun rises and begins to lighten the forest, you know that in this time, by some reason of magic or geography, it literally is darkest before dawn. And it's harder to see, even with dark vision in this space, for some reason. You don't notice much happen with your friends. They seem to be resting peacefully, and you take some measure of comfort in that. And there's a point where you look up and swear you can see something in the darkness, but it's not clear. You blink for a second and look away, then look back, trying to get some perspective and variation on the image. And when you look at it again and focus, like force yourself to really look at it, you swear for a second you can see the face of Salian. Then you blink and it's gone.
Oh. Um, is that you, Salem?
What's that?
I was just responding to that. I was saying, is that you? Talking about like Saloon.
It's me, Vorik.
Yeah.
You don't get a response, but you blink your eyes again, and you see the visage of Salian Lyasatra just very faintly outlined, beckoning you into the darkness. And then her image is gone.
Who?
From the mirror, Salian Lyasatra.
Beckoning me into the unknown.
Yeah, into the tree line where it's dark, away from your friends, away from the fire.
What's what this bitch wants? Where did I see where she was at?
She is off from your vantage. Your friends are in front of you with the campfire. She is off over here to your right, almost compass-wise northeast.
I want to look back and make sure all my friends are still back there.
So you get up and walk over there?
Well, I just want to be able to make visual like that they're there.
Okay. So you get up and look around. Your friends are still there. They seem very real. They seem sleeping peacefully.
So I see the bitch in the mirror at the edge of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to shoot an arrow there. So that seemed to work last time.
You're shooting an arrow?
Yep.
Okay. You shoot an arrow into the darkness. And for accuracy's sake, I'll have you roll an attack roll with the bow. Okay. One moment here.
You hit Freckles. Good job.
He crits and accidentally kills Queen Mab.
Well, where did it go? Okay. So you fire an arrow into the darkness, and you hear the of the arrow firing and going back, but nothing happens. It vanishes.
I'm gonna go check it out then.
Okay.
Funk soul, brother.
So you walk into the forest. How far do you walk?
Over to the edge for right now.
You go to the edge of the forest and just like to the edge of the firelight. There's no edge to the forest because you're in the forest, but on the edge of the light is where you stop. The dim light of the fire flickers behind you, and you look into the darkness and don't see much. You look back and you see your friends sleeping around the fire, and you turn back to the darkness and you see Salian's face directly in front of yours. She says, "I just wanted to talk," before you feel a cold blade in your gut. And that's where we'll end today's session.
Dude.
That would have sucked if you were alive.
Right?
I really was scared to be like, good thing I'm already dead, bitch, and then stab her.
Yeah, I'll say one more thing real quick. Pell, as you startle awake and realize that eyes are watching you, where Vorik was when you last saw him, watching your group sleep, as keeping watch over you on the night. Something startled you awake, and in his place you see a ghostly, like almost incorporeal, large white stag, which stands watch and is somehow sad, mournful, eyes trained on you. It holds your gaze until it knows you're looking back at it. And it looks off in the direction your friend disappeared, and you see Vorik once more before the stag vanishes. And as your eyes adjust to see Vorik just outside of the firelight, you see that there is a blade sticking through him to the other side, his back facing you.
It runs
Okay.
like this.
Okay. And we'll cut on the Baywatch run from Pell.